Hey, Dorothy. Hey, how you doing? I'm back. Now I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired now. Ugh. Whew. I am tired. Y'all ready for the final round today? Yeah, my nose done got stopped up. I'm eating stuff I ain't supposed to be eating. What? Come on in. Come on in. Let's start over here.
Quo in this quid pro quo. So first and
Hold on. Let's start
you're watching the legal break
over here first. Please come in hitting the like button. Please. Excuse me. Let's listen to this bribery stuff. This clown.
Glenn, we all watched as Donald Trump basically railed against Henry Cuellar on Truth Social because Henry Cuellar didn't give him the loyalty that Donald Trump expected after Trump pardoned him, and then Cuellar announced that he would be continuing as a Democrat. And of course, Trump wanted him to switch parties and basically offer up the quo in this quid pro quo. So you're watching the legal breakdown. Glenn, we all watched as Donald Trump basically railed against Henry Cuellar on Truth Social because Henry Cuellar didn't give him the loyalty that Donald Trump expected after Trump pardoned him, and then Cuellar announced that he would be continuing as a Democrat. And of course, Trump wanted him to switch parties and basically offer up the quid pro quo. So first and foremost,
with the hope. Hold on.
This move where Trump issued.
So he pardoned him with the hopes that he would switch his party from Democrat to Republican. So he pardoned him. Wow. It just keeps getting worse and worse.
You're watching the legal breakdown. Glenn, we all watched as Donald Trump basically railed against Henry Cuellar on Truth Social because Henry Cuellar didn't give him the loyalty that Donald Trump expected after Trump pardoned him, and then Cuellar announced that he would be continuing as a Democrat. And of course, Trump wanted him to switch parties and basically offer up the quo in this quid pro quo.
Wow.
So first and foremost, on the legality of this move, where Trump issues a pardon expecting something in return, can you speak on that? Or, what I fear you might say is just that the pardon power is plenary and Trump can be as corrupt and overtly corrupt as he wants.
Until they impeach him.
He has the full right to do that.
So, Brian, let's start with the proposition that what we know about Donald Trump delivering a pardon to Democrat Henry Cuellar and then railing against him because apparently Cuellar, didn't follow through with what Donald Trump expected would be the quo to the quid pro, right? This for that. And he announced he's going to continue being a Democrat. He's going to run again as a Democrat. And Donald Trump actually put in writing for all the world to see, well, that's not loyalty. So, Brian, what I just described...
Wow. Wow. He put it in writing? That's not loyalty. He pardoned a Democrat. And he did. And he put in writing, he's reckless. No, okay, so in all fairness, that may not be the same. It's about 4 or 5 of Donald Trump's. They say he got them clones and a couple of reptilians. Uh, oh, excuse me. This is that Elon Musk mess. That AI intelligence. Oh, I forgot he a genius. Oh, I should have started with the genius. I should have started with the genius, baby. Cause look, he's a genius. He's a genius. To say he's a genius. I my nose is so y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I mean. He a genius. Oh my God. And he put it in writing. I mean, he's so reckless. You right. He's so reckless. He's so mad. He put it in. Ain't them emails done got your ass in enough trouble, but you ain't felt the heat of it yet. See, they trying to protect you. Yeah, but that heat is coming. Oh, you wait. You wait. You wait. You wait. You got 7 articles of impeachment that has been activated. Lord Jesus, please. If you don't do it for me, do it for the Christian people, the true believers who they are trying to play in our face. They are trying to manipulate the sheep, trying to lead them to slaughter, trying to lead them to be sacrificed to the big old owl, to the big old two-horned head that they be taking them kids and babies, draining and drinking their juice, putting them on the altar, abusing them in a triple X type of way. Lord, if you don't do it for me, please do it for the true believers who is trying to stand on your word in solidarity, trying to keep our armor on, Lord. You know, you said no weapon formed against us shall prosper. But Lord, I'm looking at you on my side eye. But you said just keep a mustard seed of faith. And that indeed I have. I have a mustard seed of faith. I know that when you say enough is enough, you gon' shut it down. So I'm gonna wait on you, Lord. Is that all right? Let's listen to this mess in between time. In the meantime, in between time.
Crime of bribery.
Oh, Lord.
Expected would be the quo to the quid pro, right? This for that. And he announced he's going to continue being a Democrat. He's going to run again as a Democrat.
The egg on
Donald
your
Trump
face.
actually put in writing for all the world to see. Well, that's not loyalty. So, Brian, what I just described is the crime of bribery in essence. It's one of many potential crimes that Donald Trump commits when he corruptly delivers a pardon, expecting to get something in return for that official act that he took of delivering a pardon. And what he wants is political loyalty in return that will inure to his personal benefit, because he obviously wants to continue to keep the House of Representatives in Republican hands, and this is now going to thwart his efforts in that regard. You know, it is political corruption of the most callous and craven. It probably also constitutes a violation of any number of federal laws. But the next question becomes, as you sort of foreshadowed, what does it mean? Is there any way Donald Trump can be held accountable for this gross abuse of presidential power? I think the answer is most likely no, because the Supreme Court, the really radical right-wing 6-justice majority of the Supreme Court, decided that a criminal president should be allowed to commit crimes in violation of our federal laws,
For a little while.
victimizing the American people in the process with complete immunity against prosecution. He can't be held criminally responsible for the crimes he committed, violating federal law. Now, why in the world the Supreme Court believes that is the way we should govern ourselves? Those are the powers that this president should have, powers that no other president in the history of the United States enjoyed: immunity against all crimes that aren't personal crimes. But here's what I
Thank you, Naturally Narlins.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm ready to go.
Smell good.
Think so?
Yeah.
crimes. But here's what I would argue, Brian. I would argue that when the rule of law comes back into the light of day, so starting with the midterms, when I expect the Democrats will take control of the House, who knows, maybe the Senate as well, when the Democrats retake control of the White House, the executive branch, what will have to happen is these corruptly delivered pardons will have to be challenged. The way you challenge it is you charge crimes that were committed. You walk into court, you let the defendant hold up a pardon or the pardon power in Trump's case, and you litigate it. And if all of the federal courts, from trial court judges to courts of appeal judges up to the Supreme Court again, decide that now, in this very concrete context of corruptly delivered pardons committing crimes in the process, that's exactly what we want for our government. That's exactly what we want a U.S. president to be allowed to do, entitled to do with impunity and immunity. Let the judges rule that way. Let the courts rule that way. But what we can't do is just sit back and throw up our hands and say, I guess lawlessness is our lot, and we just have to lay down and take it. These things must be challenged. I am not going to sit here and tell our viewers I fully expect the challenges to be successful. But Brian, we have to attack criminality where we find it. We have to try to rebuild our institutions of government. We have to try to restore the rule of law and the Constitution. And if we don't, we didn't do it the first time around. I will say Jack Smith tried to hold Donald Trump accountable for his crimes, but he didn't quite get there. I think because Merrick Garland didn't, deploy him early enough in the process. But we didn't fix the problem. We didn't address the problem the first time around. If we again fail to address this problem when Donald Trump, falls from power, then I can no longer argue we deserve to keep our republic.
Yeah. Glenn, you had said that this could fall under the umbrella of bribery. How does that reconcile with the fact that the pardon power is plenary and that Trump has the legal right, as far as the Supreme Court has recognized, to give a pardon for any reason, which I would assume includes corrupt reasons? And so how do you reconcile those two things?
I don't. I disagree with the Supreme Court precedent. I acknowledge that it exists, but if you read Justice Sotomayor's dissent, often, Brian, and what she said is, with fear for our democracy, I dissent, because she laid out the parade of horribles that are now coming true, right? We are seeing how Donald Trump is now abusing his presidential powers, including the pardon power, including his core constitutional power of directing the military. What is he directing them to do? Murder people lawlessly in international waters. We see that Justice Sotomayor's warning was prophetic, because we see it all coming home to roost. So I can't square it. If we continue to abide by Supreme Court precedent of Trump versus United States, then we are just acknowledging that and whether the president gets to rule over us like a dictator or a monarch and can never be held accountable for the crimes he perpetrates against the American people, or we can fight against it by continuing to litigate it and try to get it all the way up to the Supreme Court. Brian, often dissents predict where the Supreme Court might go, where the rule of law might go, where the Constitution might go in the future. If we were to lay back and say, we have to accept Plessy versus Ferguson's separate but equal doctrine. Horrific separate but equal doctrine, where the court in
Yeah,
Plessy
I'm gonna
versus
play her in
Ferguson
a minute.
essentially said government sanctioned,
Why you
government
ask?
sponsored, racial discrimination and
Owen Young.
segregation is good to go. If we just laid back and accepted that, then we never would have had Brown versus Board of Education, a subsequent Supreme
Hello.
Court case that put a nail in the coffin of Plessy versus Ferguson's horrific separate but equal doctrine. That's why we can't just lay back and say, well, you know, Trump versus United States, 6 Supreme Court justices.
I'm gonna play her in a
he
minute.
gets to be lawless and victimized.
She was here
the American
Friday.
people. Fuck that. We take the fight to the lawlessness, win, lose, or draw. So I can't rectify them at this moment. But what I can say is we need to continue to fight against it until we right this American ship.
Recognizing that nothing is going to change in terms of their rulings,
around that people are willing to compromise their soul, that's also not an Don't worry guys, I'm here, running a little bit late on this Monday, but I know that if I don't make a video today, then MK Ultra 2.0, what is everyone else going to talk about? Like, how is everybody else, the influence, going to make videos calling me crazy? And I guess they think with enough videos they're going to convince the public that human necks can stop at 30.6. Anyways, stay on the show, some super interesting stuff. Somebody dug up a clip of Charlie speaking about JFK's assassination, and it now makes it even more hilarious that essentially these people are calling Charlie crazy, right? That satellite that they said, oh, this could never happen, multiple states being involved in the assassination. Let's get Charlie Kirk on that. A little bit more for you on the French angle of this, which is going to, I think, shock your senses. It certainly shocked mine and is making this investigation even more compelling, because I do believe that multiple states were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, regarding which Kash Patel has given a statement or a non-statement. So anyways, hit the link.
Okay, so we know she coming up, right, T-Steppers? Oh yeah, I done calmed down a little bit, Miss Tom. I done ate some cake, which I wasn't supposed to, so my nose is stuffy. Let's finish this. Do I need to back it up a little bit? Oh yeah, it's been good.
6 Supreme Court justices said he gets to be lawless and victimize the American people. Fuck that. We take the fight to the lawlessness, win, lose, or draw. So I can't rectify them
Oh, he said
at this
up.
moment. But what I can say is we need to continue to fight against it until we right this American ship.
recognizing that nothing is going to change in terms of their rulings while they remain in place, especially with their 6-3 majority, what kind of reforms do you think need to happen at the Supreme Court level?
You researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in the day process. A lot of time.
You know, first of all, we can enact all the reforms in the world, and the system will only be as good and as strong and as effective as the honor of the people populating government that are put in a position to enforce the laws.
Yep.
To rule on the laws in accordance with the actual, terms of the Constitution.
One of them judges
going
let me hush, Lord.
Contradicting the express terms of the Constitution, as this Supreme Court has done on multiple occasions. Some of the reforms that we should put in place: one, we need a damn code of ethics.
Joe,
that is
dude.
binding on the Supreme Court with a robust enforcement mechanism, such that if they are found to have violated the code of ethics, that they are obligated to
why Owen Young? Why you ask me that? Am I in favor of somebody who assault minors? Absolutely not. I am not in favor of a predator at all. No, I don't validate it. I don't justify it. And I think any and everybody who does, for whatever reason, don't have morals, don't have character, and I think that deep down inside they're PDFers as well. Now, are you a Donald J. Trump in favor of him? Since you asked me, are you in favor of him? Owen Young? Hello? Oh, you are. So you're okay with him sexually assaulting kids? You okay with a convicted triple X predator on adults and kids being oh, it has been proven. What, he was found guilty. What are you talking about? Okay, bye. You don't have no morals. You don't have no, sir. You making excuses for predators. We do not make excuses for predators. He has told you that he feels like taking it. Graping has been going on for millions of years. That came out of his mouth. So anybody who justifies a man who thinks it's right to grape has no morals, no ethics, no character, and you are in your heart and mind, in your dreams, way down on the inside, you are one too, in my opinion. Bye-bye. Get out. Get out. Hey, Pete. Lord. How did that person think that was gonna go? She said in more than one way. She said he can have it. He don't have to take it. My mom and dad have been taking it for years. I'm used to it. Yeah.
Live by, there are sanctions up to and including removal from office. It's insanity, Brian, that there are hundreds of thousands, actually in excess, I think, of 1.2 million federal government employees, but 9 of those people have no code of ethics.
There we go.
Them to actually do the work of the American people in an ethical and honorable way.
He taking it right out my taking the words out my mouth. Y'all get the likes up.
Ethics that applies to Supreme Court justices with a robust enforcement mechanism, and I am a proponent of increasing the number of Supreme Court justices. You know, in our nation's history,
absolutely,
we've had as few as 5 Supreme Court justices. We've had as many as 10 Supreme Court justices. 9 is not a magic number. We've increased the number.
She was bold enough to ask.
Judges to norm for the increase in our population and for the rising caseloads that those judges have to contend with. We have increased the number of circuit courts of appeals judges, again, to norm for the increase in the population and the increased caseload. It only makes sense to, increase the number of Supreme Court justices.
I agree.
Justices have certain supervisory responsibilities over the different federal jurisdictions, the First Circuit, the Second Circuit, the Ninth Circuit out in California. But there are 13 federal judicial circuits, but only 9 Supreme Court justices. Some of them actually have to double up and take 2 federal judicial circuits. Let's norm for that expansion as well of the federal judicial circuits. 13 makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, and it would have the fringe benefit of kind of evening out the score. And when I say the score, I'm sorry, but when you have Supreme Court justices who, will always rule in favor of expanding presidential power beyond both the federal laws, which are in place to constrain and provide checks and balances against executive branch overreach and abuse, and will depart from the constraints in the Constitution, constraints that are designed to, channel the executive branch's authority and prerogative. There are a number of justices who seem willing to ignore all that to, just increase Donald Trump and presidential power beyond all recognition I don't know why that is, but if you could get more honest brokers of the law and the facts and the Constitution on to the Supreme Court, it would help address what I see as some of the lawlessness and abuse of people like Clarence Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito, both of whom seem to have taken what I'll call in-kind contributions from Republican oligarch donors, and they are not held to account either by Congress, by initiating impeachment inquiries because it looks like they violated federal financial disclosure laws, or by the executive branch, the Department of Justice. And Brian, a Department of Justice can investigate crime and corruption by Supreme Court justices, but of course they have opted not to do it under Donald Trump or under Joe Biden, I will add.
Right. Well, that was perfectly put.
Okay, let's hear about this genius test. Y'all remember he said he was tested and he had the highest IQ score. Oh, please look at a commercial. At least look at it for at least 10 seconds. Commercials, please look at them for at least 10 seconds. Can I at least get some love with get some payment? Something. 10 seconds. I mean, once it says, once it goes off of skip, don't skip it for 10 seconds. Let it play. Then when it says you can skip, give it 10 seconds and do what you want to do, unless you see something that you're interested in. I saw a couple of times. And I tried to order some Christmas ideas. I'm not order, but put on I need to add some to the other couple of lives. But anyway, oh, my nose is so stopped up. Let's hear. Y'all remember when he said he scored perfect on his IQ test? The doctor told him that he just said he scored the highest, right? And he was a genius. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember? Please double tap, get the likes up. He said he's a genius. Let's hear this.
Hello, everyone. This is Rachel Maddow, tonight's news centers around a moment that caught millions by surprise.
Shout out
and
to
it all began on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Jimmy Kimmel.
For years,
Lord.
Donald Trump has proudly referred to himself as a stable genius, insisting that his intelligence is unmatched and that he once scored incredibly high on an IQ test taken back in 1968. But what most people never knew was that the details of that test were never publicly shared until now. The moment Kimmel walked onto the stage holding a sealed folder labeled 1968
he
IQ
said, got it.
The studio audience reacted instantly. Some laughed nervously, some gasped in anticipation, and others just waited in silence, wondering whether Kimmel would actually reveal anything real or whether this was another one of his classic political takedowns. The air in the studio felt
57 years ago.
charged with uncertainty and curiosity. But the atmosphere changed dramatically when Kimmel said, "This
Once
is not
a genius, always a genius, right? Keep it moving."
Said everything. The usual laughter and applause that typically fills the studio vanished, replaced by an eerie quiet that hung heavy in the air. People in the audience exchanged glances, unsure of what was coming next. He opened the folder slowly, pausing the way only Kimmel knows how, building
and the drums go
collectively, as if drawn by an invisible force. The cameras zoomed in on his face, capturing every subtle expression. And then he read the number. Not the number Trump had hinted at for decades, not the extraordinary score he often bragged about in interviews and rallies, but something far more ordinary and far less flattering. The audience exploded. Some laughed in disbelief, their voices echoing through the studio. Others shouted in surprise.
She said technology has changed since 50. Well, why I guess, rightfully so. Rightfully so. If even in my old age, I had an above average IQ test a long time ago when I was trying to enter in where I wasn't trying to. My mama snuck me into a Catholic school. She said it was just for the summer to keep me occupied in the summer. And yeah, that was a trick. Why do mamas and daddy, why they lie? Why they be lying? Why they be lying? You don't have to lie, Craig Gatter. Well, anyway, in this Catholic school, back in them days, I guess, I don't know. It was quite a few black people there, but they didn't think I don't think that none thought that I was going to be able to pass it. Well, hell, I didn't know. I didn't, I ain't know no difference. But anyway, yeah, I had an above average IQ, and I was able to get into. Now, if I would have known that all I had to do was flunk this IQ test, and I wouldn't have been able to get into this private school, hell, I just would have. I would have just sat there and marched anything. I didn't know that passing this thing was going to be the entry into the school. Well, hell, why did my mama enroll me? I was so mad. I had to get on the city bus for the first time. I think I was like 9 or 10. That was just Mama, somebody gonna give me. I gotta ride the bus. I don't know how to ride the bus. Yeah, them damn. She said we gonna do a test together. We gonna get on the bus. You gonna know the number. It's gonna say 47 Singing Hills. Don't get on no bus that don't say 47 Singing Hills. I'm just remembering this, y'all. I ain't thought about this in a long time. So we had to get on the bus and do all of that. Show me where to get on. Don't get off. This is where you get off. Don't let nobody talk you into getting off. All of that. Where to catch the hours, man. Yeah, but anyway, I guess I need to go about bragging on my IQ test too, huh? Yeah, that was a big thing. Yeah. Heck yeah. That was kind of scary. And it was on the other side of downtown. I ain't know nothing about that. But anyway. Hey, Big L. So, I guess people still do brag. I guess I need to brag about my IQ test from a long time ago when I was 9 years old. Hell, I should have failed it. Baby, my mama was hell bent on me not going to the schools in the hood, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, let's listen to this man's IQ test from 57 years ago. He said that he was a genius. We all agree that technology has changed in 57 years. I was about to say once a genius, always a genius. But T Super said, wrong answer. Things have truly changed and she ain't never lied. So let's listen. Hello, aloha, kitty. Let's listen. Hey, everybody I miss laughing at my 9-year-old experience. How dare her make me have to get on a city bus to go and sit in there with them mean ass nuns who ain't getting none. That's why you mad, because you ain't getting none.
And then he read the number. Not the number Trump had hinted at.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Not the extraordinary
showed the IQ test.
This is the actual record. That silence said everything. The usual laughter and applause that typically fills the studio vanished, replaced by an eerie quiet that hung heavy in the air. People in the audience exchanged glances, unsure of what was coming next. He opened the folder slowly, pausing the way only Kimmel knows how, building tension until the crowd leaned in collectively, as if drawn by an invisible force. The cameras zoomed in on his face, capturing every
dementia done ate that genius
and then he read the number. Not the number Trump had hinted at for decades, not the extraordinary score he often bragged about in interviews and rallies, but something far more ordinary and far less flattering. The audience exploded. Some laughed in disbelief, their voices echoing through the studio.
Him wasn't a genius.
Others shouted in surprise, and a few sat frozen, processing what they had just heard. Online, the reaction spread within seconds, like wildfire across social media platforms. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and
him
TikTok
not genius.
Lit up with comments, memes, and
him wasn't
reactions from
genius.
people around the globe. According to the document Kimmel displayed on screen, Trump's score placed him solidly in the average range. Not low, not high, simply normal. The score was neither embarrassing nor impressive. It was the kind of result
Well, why
that
his
millions
sister
of
have to
Americans
take
might
his
receive.
SAT?
For most people, being average is not a problem. It's a
Oh,
reality
he
that
would have
doesn't
need to
define
been
worth or
above
potential.
average to
But
get
for
in
someone who has
Wharton.
spent decades calling themselves a genius, who has claimed
Him ain't.
intellectual superiority over opponents, advisors, and even experts, this revelation contradicted a huge piece of Trump's public persona. Kimmel.
Now, truth, let's keep it real. If he is normal, why did his sister have to take his SAT test for him in order to get in Wharton? Because he didn't take that test. His family done already said that his daddy got him in there. So what? They let him take the test so the daughter, the smart sister, could take it. Well, hell, if that's the case, then we have to assume that she took his IQ test. Because the professor said that he was the most illiterate student he has ever had. Ever. I'm just saying. So him not genius. Him not genius. Lord. So if he was average in 57 years ago, he way below average now. He only got a fourth of a brain. I mean, the rest of it is mashed potatoes. Or parasites, one. Parasites infested. Lord.
Didn't stop there. He went on to compare Trump's self-proclaimed brilliance with his real-world decisions, his public statements, and some of the most confusing moments from his political career. And he did it with receipts. Video clips, transcripts, and statements that painted a very different picture from the legend Trump told about himself. Kimmel played clips of Trump discussing complex topics like healthcare, climate change, and foreign policy, juxtaposing them with expert analysis that often contradicted Trump's confident assertions. One clip showed Trump claiming he knew more about technology than anyone else, followed by a statement where he confused basic technological concepts. Another showed him boasting about his understanding of military strategy, followed by interviews with actual military generals who diplomatically disagreed with his assessments. The contrast was stark.
Yeah, I don't know who he trying to say that about. Go ahead and remove it.
Social media erupted. Within
Who
minutes,
is Mad
hashtags
Cow?
like number sign stable genius test and number sign Kimmel exposes Trump began trending worldwide. Some users joked that Trump might try to sue the IQ test itself for defamation.
Oh, Lord.
Others posted memes comparing the test score to Trump's biggest campaign promises, with captions like stable genius expected versus reality. Even some political commentators chimed in, calling the moment a significant blow to Trump's long-standing myth-making and personal brand. The memes came fast and furious. One popular image showed Trump's face photoshopped onto a report card with average grades, captioned, "When you tell everyone you're the smartest in the class."
Wow.
Another showed a side-by-side comparison of Trump's claims about his intelligence next to the actual test score. The internet's creativity seemed limitless, and the jokes kept coming throughout the night and into the following days. But the real question wasn't about the number itself. It was about what the number represented, a crack in the carefully constructed image Trump has built over decades. For many viewers, this was the first time they paused and asked themselves, if he exaggerated this, what else has he been exaggerating?
Everything.
The revelation prompted people to reconsider other claims Trump had made
That
over the
he
years
good?
about his wealth, his business success, his academic
fainted with
achievements,
whatever?
and his political accomplishments. News outlets began revisiting Trump's history of self-promotion. Journalists dug through archives, finding interviews where Trump claimed to have graduated top of his class, only to discover he had finished in the middle. They found instances where he inflated the value of his properties, exaggerated his net worth, and embellished his business achievements.
Absolutely.
The IQ test revelation became a catalyst for broader scrutiny of Trump's entire public narrative. Major newspapers assigned investigative teams to verify Trump's past claims. Reporters contacted former classmates, business associates, and political colleagues to cross-reference statements Trump had made over the years. What they discovered was a pattern, a consistent tendency to embellish, exaggerate, and sometimes fabricate details that enhanced his image. One investigation focused on Trump's claims about his academic performance at the Wharton School of Business. While Trump had long suggested he was a
Anytime
top
you
student,
ask me if
records
it's
showed a more
AI, I'm
modest
putting you
performance.
out. Listen at the
Another
message.
investigation examined
Not
his
if it's
business
AI.
dealings in the
That's not what we're
1980s
here
and
for.
1990s,
Hell, you
finding
finna be
numerous
AI in a
instances where
minute.
Trump had overstated his success, particularly during periods when his businesses faced financial difficulties. For Trump's supporters, the response was decidedly mixed. Some dismissed the revelation as mere entertainment, arguing that Kimmel was a comedian and shouldn't be taken seriously. They claimed the whole thing was staged for ratings and laughs. Others argued more thoughtfully that IQ doesn't measure leadership ability, emotional intelligence, or the practical skills needed to run a country.
So he
They
not
pointed to Trump's
him
business
not
success
smart.
and his ability to connect with voters
So
as
they gonna
evidence
show
that traditional
Jimmy
intelligence
Kimmel.
measures don't capture the full picture. Many supporters took to social media to defend Trump. They argued that practical intelligence and street smart.
We're not doing that. Rachel, matter humiliates corporation. Stipulation. Yeah, no. No. These people crazy. He has the emotional intelligence. Yeah, him not smart.
I applied to over 35 jobs
I mean,
on
I knew
LinkedIn
he
and got
wasn't.
0
But why
responses.
lie about it?
Then I found
I don't think he
jobhire.ai.
average.
Donald Trump has quietly removed the lead architect from his controversial $300 million White House ballroom expansion. The reason is a clash over his push to scale the structure far beyond any precedent. Sources say Trump demanded it be expanded to 90,000 square feet. That's not just a ballroom. That's a monument to excess. Designed to host 1 to 1,000 hand-picked guests, the venue isn't about function, it's about legacy.
Oh, yeah, they want him
It's
out.
about ego. And he wants it finished before the end of a second term, a term he hasn't won yet. Who builds a throne before securing the crown? Last
They would
October,
have paid
Trump authorized the
anything
demolition
to
of
get
the
him out
historic
the house.
East Wing. This happened despite his
yeah.
repeated promise not to alter the White House. That wing,
All he do
symbol
is
of
lie, lie,
continuity and
lie,
governance,
lie, lie.
is now gone. Replacing his original architect, James McCreary, a man Trump appointed to the Commission of Fine Arts, confirms how little patience he has for resistance. According to Washington Post reporter Jonathan Edwards, the firing wasn't about logistics, it was about control. McCreary tried to set boundaries. Trump wanted loyalty, not limits. And when professionals don't bend, they get replaced. The official explanation is that McCreary's firm lacked the capacity for a project of this scale. But let's be honest. This isn't about blueprints or square footage. It's about Donald Trump refusing to be questioned. Even those he personally selects become disposable the moment they hesitate.
True
Though they
that.
have never collaborated, McCreary's appointment initially signaled prestige. But prestige means nothing when Trump decides it's in the way. This is bigger than a building. It's a warning. If this is how Trump handles architecture, how does he handle governance? Where else is dissent being pushed aside? There is no public record showing that Donald Trump and James McCreary ever partnered on a real construction project. Yet during Trump's first term, he appointed McCreary to the Commission of Fine Arts. That appointment, mainly symbolic, gave Trump a direct line to Washington's architectural circles. But here's the twist. Donald Trump, the developer, has never enjoyed being told no. He sees design not as a discipline, but as a reflection of authority. And if the reflection doesn't match his vision, he pushes it aside. McCreary's departure was not simply a staffing change. It was the removal of someone who pushed back. Trump believes his instincts outrank the expertise of architects, historians, and planning commissions. He treats taste as personal, and his preference gold spectacle scale becomes policy. That belief now collides with institutional resistance. The White House claims it does not need approval from the National Capital Planning Commission to continue. Preservationists and lawmakers disagree. Can a president unilaterally redesign a national landmark? Is that how democratic oversight works? Or is the system being reshaped to suit one man's aesthetic? The proposed construction schedule is more than bold. It's reckless. A former NCPC commissioner even called the plan unrealistic. The administration argues that demolition and site preparation fall outside the commission's authority. They say approval is only required once the vertical build begins. But let's be realistic. When part of the White House is torn down, are we really debating vertical versus horizontal jurisdiction? This is about precedent. If one man can demolish part of the people's house without oversight, what else becomes possible? The White House does not belong to any one individual. It belongs to the American people, past, present, and future. But what happens when a president treats it like a personal estate?
Like it's
East
his.
Wing,
He gonna
once a
claim it.
symbol of public service, was removed without public input or congressional review. How did we get here? Simple.
Cause he gonna treat it like what is it called? What is it called? It's not eminent. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. When you make some improvements on the house and you try to act like and you're gonna be squatting and you don't want them to put you out because you made some improvements, he gonna become a squatter. He gonna say it's his house. He made improvements on it, even though it didn't come out of his account. Is it still buffing? Am I okay? Miss Tom, you almost got your mod stick taken away. You trying to be funny? Am I back? Can y'all hear me? Thank you, Dorothy, for letting me know I was buffing. Everyone's buffing. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm over here looking at something else. How long ago did it stop buffing? Am I still buffing? Thank you.
But what happens when a president treats it like a personal estate?
I don't know how. I don't know when it started.
Once a symbol of public service
started buffing.
was removed without public input or congressional review. How did we get here? Simple. Trump
I was over here being ugly.
Blueprint. Remove anyone who might refuse him. This isn't just architecture. It's about power and what disappears when that power goes unchecked. The National Capital Planning Commission exists to protect public interests, not presidential impulse, but Trump cleared the board, dismissing members who might raise legal or ethical concerns. Experts were removed, loyalists were installed. With no one left to ask, what about history? Or, where's the transparency? The commission became a rubber stamp. Is this democracy in motion? Or the slow shift of civic institutions into instruments of personal ambition? When the gatekeepers vanish, who is left to guard the gate? Now, let's talk money, because that's where the story becomes clear. Trump initially claimed he would pay for the project himself. That narrative collapsed quickly. Funding is now coming from a familiar group: billionaires and corporations with active interests before the government. Tech companies, defense firms, financial giants. They don't contribute out of generosity. They contribute.
Big Diddy was at the gate. Big Diddy was at the gate.
Not just concrete decor, but access, leverage, and private deals. In Trump's world, nothing gets built without benefit. And the real question is, who is ultimately paying for this expansion, and what do they expect in return? Here's where things take a darker turn. This isn't just a personal building project. It's becoming a political magnet for major corporations. Some of the most powerful companies in America are quietly backing the construction, not because they admire design, but because they see opportunity. These are the same names that show up whenever access to influence is on the table. From the day Trump stepped onto the inaugural stage, this network was already forming. Now it's investing in marble, in steel, and in strategic advantage. If this isn't transactional politics,
steel. Did he say? Didn't Trump when?
Crypto firms,
hold on.
Defense contract.
When Candace said that Trump called her about the macarons and asked her to stop, exposing that he was a shim. Didn't he say it's about steel? Didn't he say it was about steel? Yeah, I remember that.
In return. Here's where things take a darker turn. This isn't just a personal building project. It's becoming a political magnet for major corporations. Some of the most powerful companies in America are quietly backing the construction, not because they admire design, but because they see opportunity. These are the same names that show up whenever access to influence is on the table. From the day Trump stepped onto the inaugural stage, this network was already forming. Now it's investing in marble, in steel, and in strategic advantage. If this isn't transactional politics made tangible, what is? Big tech, crypto firms, defense contractors, it's a lineup of influence. Amazon, Apple, Meta, each contributing. And it's not just companies. Wealthy donors with clear interests are also stepping in. Some of them even sit inside Trump's own cabinet. Think about that. Government officials attending donor dinners alongside corporate leaders with federal contracts at stake. These aren't ordinary guests.
It's about
They're
steel.
stakeholders in an unspoken exchange. This ballroom isn't being built with political neutrality. If Barack Obama had removed an entire wing of the White House to build to the nation, some ask
Barack
how this
Obama
keeps
would
happening.
not do that.
Why do these
I don't
scandals
want to hear
never
that.
seem
Let's
to
get to
finish?
Candace.
But
I don't
history
want to
shows there
hear
have
it.
been consequences.
I don't want to hear
Did
that
lose in 2020.
about what Barack Obama would do. He would never do that. Never. He would never. He follows the rules. Bottom line. Let's hear Candace. What's going on, Candace? Let's go. Let's go get it. Let me push this back. Let me change the background. Get my likes up, y'all. Double tap the face of your screen. Sit up. Double tap the face of your screen.
All right, you guys, happy Monday. I am here. And I got to tell you, Charlie Kirk discussing the JFK assassination, that sure is something. If you haven't yet seen this clip that's making the rounds, we have it for you. And it makes it kind of hilarious, even more hilarious, that the very organization that Charlie Kirk built is trying to sell to the public that the very idea of a government-sanctioned assassination is crazy. And on that point, another interesting lead has come in regarding the potential French connection, regarding which I should mention that Kash Patel has been directly asked about their potential involvement in Charlie Kirk's assassination, and his answer, his reply to that question is stunning. I should say, actually, it's a non-answer. So, welcome back to Candace.
Can y'all hear me?
What do you guys think Charlie Kirk
Can y'all hear?
would have said about his own assassination? Just think about that. What would his perspective have been on everything that we are currently being told, people that are being attacked about it? I think about that actually often, and listening to his perspectives regarding political assassinations of the past, in retrospect, really is something. So at one of his, honestly, one of his last events in May of this year, Charlie was directly asked his opinion regarding John F. Kennedy's assassination down in Dallas, and here is what Charlie had to say.
In the JFK files, Mossad is mentioned. One of the reasons why Mossad is mentioned so much is that they're just a very good intelligence operation. It was not mentioned as if they were tied or that they knew about it or that they were involved. Again, I think the best reading of what happened there is who wanted JFK dead the most. Again, a lot of people said Israel wanted JFK dead. I'd love to hear that argument. But definitely Lyndon Baines Johnson and parts of our own government and the Cubans wanted him dead. And who actually made it happen? There were like 15 or 20 things that happened that day that were inexcusable. They changed the parade route. He rode in an open air convertible. LBJ decided not to ride alongside of him. The vehicle slowed down right when it went by the Texas School Book Depository. A lot there, right? And then again, I think that all of us are smarter to believe that it was simply Lee Harvey Oswald. The more important question is not, oh, who did it? We have to first acknowledge it, that more than one person did it. Once we acknowledge that more than one person did it, then we can expose our government to have lied to us about the JFK assassination, which then I think will sober a lot of us about trusting the government in the future.
I mean,
wait,
yes,
what?
all of that. Thank you.
Reading of what happened there is who wanted JFK dead the most. Reasons why Mossad is mentioned so much is that they're just a very good intelligence operation. It was not mentioned as if they were tied or that they knew about it or that they were involved. Again, I think the best reading of what happened there is who wanted JFK dead the most. Again, a lot of people said Israel wanted JFK dead. I'd love to hear that argument. But definitely Lyndon Baines Johnson and parts of our own government and the Cubans wanted him dead. And who actually made it happen? There were like 15 or 20 things that happened that day that were inexcusable. They changed the parade route. He rode in an open-air convertible. LBJ decided not to ride alongside of him. The vehicle slowed down right when it went by the Texas School Book Depository. A lot there, right? And then again, I think that all of us are smarter to believe that it was simply Lee Harvey Oswald. The more important question is not, oh, who did it? We have to first acknowledge it, that more than one person did it. Once we acknowledge that more than one person did it, then we can expose our government to have lied to us about the JFK assassination, which then I think will sober a lot of us about trusting the government in the future.
I mean, yes, all of that. Thank you, Charlie Kirk, for reminding us that you had common sense, that you didn't accept force-fed narratives, that you did not accept the BS crap that our government has sold us regarding the one individual that was involved in JFK's assassination. Of course, multiple people were involved and a lot of strange things occurred on that day. That is what makes his answer there so compelling, okay? Especially in the midst of, well, MK Ultra 2.0. Remember, the first government psyop on the people, MK Ultra, what actually came together, sorry, I should say Mockingbird 2.0. The first government psyop on the people following JFK's assassination, Mockingbird 1.0, to convince everybody through influence that there was nothing to see here, even though there was so much to see there. And now it's being deployed again, Mockingbird, Operation Mockingbird 2.0, to convince people that questions about the Charlie Kirk narrative are just crazy, right? How dare you consider that there may have been employees at Turning Point USA who could be engaged in an obvious cover-up at this moment? Well, Pastor Frank Turek says that's so crazy because that would mean that Charlie Kirk hired people that ultimately betrayed him. And no one's ever been betrayed by people that they trust in the history of the world. Okay, well, actually, maybe that did happen for Jesus Christ. That's just one historical example of a person surrounded by somebody that they trust who would ultimately betray them. And yes, JFK, who personally selected Lyndon Baines Johnson to be his vice president, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was clearly implicated in JFK's assassination. Charlie rightfully says that is obvious by now. So maybe that did happen for Jesus Christ. That's just one historical example of a person surrounded by somebody that they trust who would ultimately betray them. And yes, JFK, who personally selected Lyndon Baines Johnson to be his vice president, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was clearly implicated in JFK's assassination. Charlie rightfully says that is obvious by now. So, yeah, it's all very plausible. Oh, and Charlie, you can see, does not readily dismiss the idea that the Mossad may have been involved. He says he'd like to hear more of an argument on that, as he asserts that definitively parts of our government had to have been involved. And he says the Cubans, the commies, wanted him dead. Charlie is encouraging the inquiry further.
A lot of changes in Charlie Kirk's situation, too. A lot of changes. From security to the doctors to, yeah.
It's all very plausible. Oh, and Charlie, you can see, does not readily dismiss the idea that the Mossad may have been involved. He says he'd like to hear more of an argument on that, as he asserts that definitively parts of our government had to have been involved. And he says the Cubans, the commies, wanted him dead. Charlie is encouraging the inquiry further. Who wanted JFK dead the most? Okay, well, we should continue down that path. Who wanted Charlie Kirk dead the most and why? And Charlie was very much in the political fast lane. Okay, and in the political fast lane, they want you dead for really one or all of these three reasons: money, secrets, and or power. We know that Charlie said no to money right before he died. I think that means he probably knew his secrets right before he died. And there is no doubt that his youth political organization had achieved a considerable amount of political power. Could there have been global implications? Of course. People are laughing. They've been laughing this entire time because
y'all get the likes up, double tap.
Evidence of what transpired on that.
I know you're lying to me. Y'all need to double tap the face of y'all screen. Get the likes up. Double tap. If you're on your phone listening in, double tap your face of your phone. If you're listening in on your device, or hit the three dots at the top right corner. Get them up. It was 400 and some people in here. Yeah. I'll wait. Yeah, it can drop down to 10 people. I don't care. Y'all need to double tap the face of your phone and get the likes up. Hey, Pressure. I didn't even feed chat. The battle is not in flesh and blood. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Absolutely right about that.
Day.
How you doing, Pressure?
Things that transpired on that day, just like on the day of JFK's assassination. Well, that pointed us into the direction of a particular satellite of countries and continents that have somehow come up in this investigation. I'll paint that for you now. Yes, we have mentioned France. Yes, we have mentioned Israel. Yes, we have mentioned the United States government. And yes, we have mentioned Egypt, which is in Africa. Wow, that seems crazy. People also laughed when I said that there was thereafter a viable threat, which came from the Macron couple who apparently paid for my assassination. And yet, strangely, neither the Pentagon nor the White House or our intel agencies or the Élysée Palace are disputing that narrative. And now we can add officially the FBI to that list of agencies that aren't denying that threat, because Kash Patel recently gave an interview to Megyn Kelly, and like an actual journalist and not a cutesy-wootsy influencer like Camp Higby, don't laugh, Megyn Kelly asked him directly about the Macron couple and about the allegation that they attempted to orchestrate an assassination on my life, and of course, whether or not they could have been involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I have said, right? Here is what Kash Patel says in response, or rather what he doesn't say in response. Take a listen.
There's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she's been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those?
Heck no.
She's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death.
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So
Why
we're not
haven't you
going to
reached
turn
out
our
to
eye
her?
away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
So we are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels that their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
Do you want to involve me in you looking at it? Because
Exactly.
actually, it kind of left me on red. There has been no communication with the FBI on my life, and of course, whether or not they could have been involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I have said, right? Here is what Kash Patel says in response,
he
or
gonna
rather what
notify
he doesn't
her?
say in response. Take a listen.
There's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she's been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death?
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn our eye away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
So we are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels that their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
He said he don't go nowhere without that windbreaker.
Do you want to involve?
Let's be clear, Mr. He goes nowhere. He don't care anything about who laying on the ground, who done shot who. He don't care nothing about. He is not getting off of the jet. He not moving. I'm not going anywhere until I have a jacket. I know, don't ask me why I left home without it. How do you expect for these people to take me serious? They already know I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So if I don't have a jacket, they won't know who I am. They're going to think that I am a YouTuber. They're going to think that I am the one who plays with those dolls and stuff on as a social media influencer. How are they going to know that I am an FBI director without my jacket? Mommy, they not including me. I need my windbreaker. I need my windbreaker. No, where's the patches? It don't have the patches. I need the patches. I'm not going. I'm not going. Oh, he not trying to let his job blow away. Well, I think using FBI to babysit his drunk girlfriend and her friend is gonna make him and that windbreaker blow away. We paying for drunk friends too? What in the heck is going on with this cabinet, with this administration? Lord have mercy. Lord.
The allegation that they attempted to orchestrate an assassination on my life.
I'm just too outdone.
Whether or not they could have been involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I have said, right? Here is what Kash Patel says in response, or rather what he doesn't say in response. Take a
He out
listen.
in the first round.
There's been an
Look at
allegation
it.
made by
Where your
prominent
patches
podcaster
at?
Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she's been told, also may have had
said
a
it
role
was
in
cold
Charlie's
outside.
assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death?
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated.
What about if it was Israel?
Away from
What if
that
it was
investigation or any others.
not gonna
If
sue
there's
me?
anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
So we are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone
Yeah,
feels
he's
that
so
their
full
life is
of.
being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
Do you want to involve me in you looking at it? Because actually, it kind of
Very
left me on
insecure.
red. There has been no communication with the FBI. You are aware right there. Megyn Kelly is asking you directly about it, so you can't pretend you didn't receive it. And you are choosing to skip over. He
And nor
completely
did
skips
he.
over the part
He didn't say I
about
didn't
me,
receive
having
anything.
asserted, which Megyn asks him directly, you know, was France involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination? He doesn't even address that. Skips right over it, and instead says, if any American has
I
a
have
threat,
no
that's what
idea.
we're here for. And she's like, okay, but was there actually a threat on if anybody, let's just kind of state it more broadly, we will take it seriously. Well, you're not doing that, Kash Patel. And I find it very odd that I said that I had proof that the government of France was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, that they were on the ground that day. And you have not reached out to me. In this very interview that you are asserting that you are certain that Tyler Robinson is the only person involved, how could...
Look at here, Candace. Come here, girl. Come close. He has given Megyn more information than he has given you about your situation. Now, I understand that she way down there on the 50 Shades of Brown color scheme. She way at the end. Yeah, I mean, and hell, he ain't just, he middle. He in the middle shades of brown. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But why he get her more intel than he has given to you? Maybe you need to have Mr. Farmer, you know, call him. So this is when you play good cop, bad cop, good husband, bad wife. You know what I'm saying? Let Mr. Farmer, Mr. George, call him. And I'm sure he will expedite a return. It's just, I think it's the color of the brown in the category that you fall in, my sister. Yeah, let's go. Y'all get the lights up. Double tap. Come on, double tap. It's 50 Shades of Brown. He catered to the far end. That peachy vanilla. He like that peachy white chocolate. Mm-hmm. Peachy white chocolate shades of brown. 50 Shades of Brown, baby. 50 Shades of Brown. And even, I mean, you know, that color in there too, that peachy color. It's in a box of crayons. They color too. Yeah, they are colored too. They don't like that. They don't like to know that the ID in our DNA is in them. We are the originators. They don't like that. Boy, they get their asses up out of here when I start talking like that, don't they? Double tap, y'all. Come on. I'm an hour and 15 minutes in. We got to get the lights up. Let's go. They gets up out of here when I remind them that the truth has been whitewashed to remove the sounds of blackness, the shades of brown, that bronze, dark bronze coming out of fire. Yeah, that bronze. Yeah, coming out of fire. Bye, Satoria. They don't like that. Thank you. I got a gift. Thank you, Satoria, for the gift. I'm sorry. The GGs and the floating hearts. I'm sorry, precious. I was running my mouth talking about them 50 Shades of Grey. Brown. Thank you. Let's go. Get the lights up, y'all.
Can you be certain if you are not reaching out to people that claim to have verifiable, I had proof that the government of France was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, that they were on the ground that day, and you have not reached out to me? In this very interview that you are asserting that you are certain that Tyler Robinson is the only person involved, how can you be certain if you are not reaching out to people that claim to have verifiable evidence which
Why
could
it makes
dispute
you
that
giggle?
narrative? Does it seem to you like he's telling the truth there? Does it seem to you like he's being open, he's
Ain't
being
we 50
transparent, or
Shades
does
of
it
Brown?
seem like he's intentionally being cagey because he knows that I am telling the truth, despite the many millions of dollars that is being spent on this Operation Mockingbird 2.0 campaign? Kash Patel knows that I am telling the truth. That's why they are turning to influencers to try to tell you not to look that way. Candace is crazy. Oh my gosh, like Candace must have made this up. But the people that are in power are not telling you that I made this up, even when they are given the opportunity to do so. They are choosing to stay silent, okay? And I am waiting for all of this to be uncovered because this is bigger than we could have ever imagined. And it is very clear to me that our satellite of nations involved in this is not so implausible. In fact, maybe it's very plausible that all of these states are somehow involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. So here's what happened after he went off air. I received a tip, actually from overseas,
Oh, wow.
which has positively blown my mind. And it's blown my mind in a lot of ways, particularly because I had this intuition in terms of the things that I was researching and that were coming up, and we're looking into Utah and all of these things.
Juliana Kemp, thank you for the Sunday.
That trafficking, like global trafficking,
Oh my God,
is could be involved here. Like that, this could be.
Woohoo! I mean, tea sippers, tea sippers. I thought are we that ahead? She didn't. Wow. Candace, I don't know why I thought that you. That's all right. Tea sippers. I guess we are genius. I guess that private school really did some. I guess, I guess. Yes, Candace, trafficking is in here. Yes, precious. Check off into the trafficking. Yes. This is why those pictures. Yeah, she probably groomed him. Absolutely. No pictures of her, Emmanuel, is that his name? Macron, until age 10. Yeah, where them other pictures at? Yes, trafficking is in there. We already know that it was grape in the family. Hell, is it really his family? I mean, who knows? Both of them. But she groomed him. Yeah. And those other two, them kids that she have, and there's no pictures of her being pregnant. Yes, ma'am, precious. Yeah, I haven't heard what else you got to say. Maybe the light bulb is still coming on, but she should have used the party hat earlier. What party hat? Oh, Candace, I don't know. I already figured it out, but thank you, because some of listening to you, we connected them dots a few weeks ago. Oh, the party hat. Ooh, Candace, I thought you was already there, but come on, baby girl, come on.
Okay. And I am waiting for all of this to be uncovered because this is bigger than we could have ever imagined.
Yes, it is.
And it is very clear to me that our satellite of nations involved in this is not
Samantha.
So implausible. In fact, maybe it's very plausible that all of these states are somehow involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. So here's what happened after he went off air. I received a tip, actually from overseas, which has positively blown my mind.
Absolutely.
And it's blown my mind in a lot of ways, particularly because I had this intuition in terms of the things that I was researching and that were coming up, and we're looking into Utah and all of these things, that there was this chance that trafficking, like global trafficking, is could be involved here. Like that this could be maybe somehow Charlie was being asked to be brought in. He built an organization that has a presence, I think, in all 50 states, actually in all 50 states, and that presents a certain opportunity, like for potentially trafficking. Now, the tip that we received was that we were very much on the right track, and that there was another Pierre that we should be looking into, right? And what I'm going to say is, despite this tip and indicating that Turning Point, people that work
Miss Toms, yeah, your party hat. Yeah, thank you for the party hat and the makeup brushes.
Took a meeting with this particular Pierre. We cannot verify that yet. We would like to verify that information. And if you know more, please email us, moretips@CandaceOwens.com. But I'm going to tell you
okay,
that even if we...
Candace, precious. The CIA uses the military base for trafficking. Come on now. Yeah. I'm sure that there is a hub. No. Trump gave permission for Qatar to build a Air Force base in Idaho. Idaho. She a hoe. She knows she a hoe. I should. Okay. Yeah, in Idaho. And I'm sure you're going to find, if you keep digging, that Delaware is for France. Yeah. There's a hub there. So stay on course. That's why you see the military helicopters. And there was another couple that you had made mention that was flying around town, around Charlie Kirk. And I can't remember where they was coming out of. But yeah, and they had issues with some allegations through their church. Yeah. Yeah, so Delaware is their hub. So you done did that research, and the layovers, they traffic kids through the military helicopters, not helicopters, they planes. Yeah, and they do it in the middle of the night while everybody's sleeping. Okay? Now somebody get that tip to her. Yeah, the Macrons, theirs in the U.S., yeah, and Trump is passing out these immigrants and just grabbing people and stuff, babies and all that type of stuff too. Yeah, the Macrons, theirs is out of Delaware. Stay woke, precious. Let's go.
Can't verify that tip. Just knowing who this person is, this person who lives in Scottsdale, Arizona, and is a billionaire, and that is where Turning Point USA is based. Knowing this person's background is incredibly compelling, okay? This individual that they mentioned that we should take a look into or learn more about, his name is Pierre Falcone. Now, I had never heard of this individual, and I'm going to say allegedly again regarding the Turning Point USA connection, but his past is not allegedly, okay? He was involved in a scandal that almost brought down the French government, and it involved, here we go, Africa, Angola in particular, Israel, France, and the United States. Arms trafficking, okay? Weapons that were being trafficked into Africa, and this scandal came to be known as Angola Gate. And I'm going to do my best here to summarize it for you so that you get the gist of this. In short, these...
Now, while you checking on this, Candace, I need for you to check on the gold, too. Yeah, gold and diamonds. Yeah, they smuggle all of that through the Air Force bases. Now, we know that Trump done got a deal on some gold that you just can't find nowhere in the U.S. Ain't that what he said? Yeah, the quality of this gold is just unmatchable. You just really can't find it. Yeah, because it has come through way up a deal through one of those foreign countries. And where's the gold? Qatar, you know, what Africa, diamonds, weapons, all of that. So make sure you check on their trade now. Okay? That gold, you know. Ask Trump where he get his gold in the White House from. He says rare and hard to find. Look at that gold. Yeah, I wonder is he gonna leave it when he leave the White House? Hi, he gonna yank the gold off the wall? Huh? Let's go. Y'all double tap.
Scandal happened during the civil war in Angola. So you have an African. Ever heard of this individual?
Double tap, y'all. Come on.
Again, regarding the Turning Point USA connection. But his past is not allegedly, okay? He was involved in a scandal that almost brought down the French government.
To the no.
And it involved, here we go, Africa, Angola in particular, Israel, France, and the United States. Arms trafficking, okay? Weapons that were being trafficked into Africa, and this scandal came to be known as Angola Gate. And I'm going to do my best here to summarize it for you so that you get the gist of this. In short, the scandal happened during the civil war in Angola. So you have an African country, there is a civil war. You should just know instinctively that none of these civil wars are organic. No civil war ever was organic. Not even our civil war was organic. It's a bunch of Freemason lodges, deep state government involvement, and you can bet your money that the deep state is always involved when stuff is going on in Africa. Civilized countries are always involved in sponsoring civilizations being brought down. Anyways, it gets discovered during the course of French elections, and this is dating back to 1999, that the French government is actually involved in trafficking weapons, military-grade weapons, to Angola to facilitate this war. And they did this through an illicit network of countries. The public learns this, and it turns out that France is involved, Russia is involved, Slovakia is involved. They're using this company.
Okay, y'all get the likes up. Double tap the face of your screen if you're listening in on your phone device. If you're on your computer, look at those 3 dots on the top, way up there, far right. Hit those for me and get to the like button. Angola. Yes, 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 yes. Rich African, yeah. Natural resources. Huge reserve of petroleum, natural gas, and high quality diamonds. Also minerals like copper, gold, iron. Do I need to repeat? Huge reserve of petroleum, natural gas, and high quality diamonds. Yeah, also minerals like copper, gold, and iron. A leading oil producer in Africa. But the economic growth is uneven. Oh, yeah, I like diamonds too, but I'm telling you what they're trafficking. What the trade-off. What Trump wants. What France, I'm telling you. Natural gas, high quality diamonds. And that gold. Mm-hmm.
Which is known as Branco International, to sell these arms to the Angolan president. Now, Branco International is run by this guy. His name is Arkady Gaidamak. Of course, he is Israeli, initially born in Russia, and then right when Israel becomes a nation, he moves there. He's also, of course, the president of the Congress of Jewish Religious Communities, so you can't question anything he does. It's anti-Semitic. And his partner is Pierre Falcone. Pierre Falcone is born in Algeria. He moves to France after the Algerian Civil War. So I'm just going to bring up the players here very quickly. This is just from a website that's called Corruption Tracker. You've got Pierre Falcone. He's the businessman, the main broker of the arms deals. He gets convicted of arms trafficking, breach of trust, a misuse of corporate assets, bribery. He gets sentenced to 6 years in prison, but then he gets cleared on an appeal. Okay, so technically he was found not guilty of this crime, and then was sentenced to a reduced 2.5 years in prison. You have Arkady Gaidamak, who I just told you about. He's the other businessman, and he gets convicted, even though he never showed up, in France of arms trafficking, tax fraud, bribery, money laundering, you name it. You have the French interior minister that was implicated. You also have Francois Mitterrand, the French president's son, that was implicated in this. When I say high-reaching, as in like the president of France at that time was implicated via his son, who was involved in this. Basically, everyone was getting paid off of this. It ends up being 41 politicians involved, multiple states, and of course, multiple nations that are involved, including Angola. But you should know the scandal also touched the United States. Human rights groups demanded that Congress also probe the Bush administration's involvement, because they claim they did a deal and got involved for oil. Of course, why do we have wars? Because they can go in and they can steal a country's resources. I hope you are awake to that by now. Everything that's being sold to you, fighting for their power, fighting for their rights, Muslims versus Christians, wealthy bankers that want resources, okay? I'm reading this Bush component from a website that's known as Corp Watch, and it tells us that, quote, known as Angola Gate, in France, the scandal involves arms for oil deals between French businessman Pierre Falcone, the head of a firm that was called Branco International, his colleague, Jean-Christophe Mitterrand, the son of the former French president, and a Russian-born Israeli named Arkady Gaidamak. According to All the President's Men, a March 25th report on Angola Gate by Global Witness, Gaidamak funneled billions of dollars in arms and oil-backed loans to Angola's government in return for lucrative oil contracts with Western oil companies. Falcone and Gaidamak, relying on the special access that Mitterrand had to the Angolan government, managed to transfer some $463 million in arms to Angola. And that's interesting. That is very interesting. Now, according to my sources in France, they say that the people of France were absolutely outraged. They found this to be naked corruption when he won his appeal, and then afterwards, Pierre Falcone just disappeared into thin air. Disappeared from France, because as it turns out, he actually reappeared in Scottsdale, and what he's been doing since is anybody's guess. But we had some tips, which I'd like to pursue further, since, again, he is in Scottsdale, and we know that Turning Point is very much involved in politics in Scottsdale, as to whether or not he still has a foot in politics. Are they familiar with this person? What we can say is that suddenly, for certain, we can say that that particular satellite of countries is not so ridiculous, okay? So the joke's on all of you guys who are trying to pretend that the idea that multiple nations could be involved in a scandal is just so far-reaching. That is the former American mindset where we believed that our government were the good guys. And let me tell you, many of us have had our eyes open to the possibility that that wasn't so. All of us maybe were half asleep and thought, oh, well, there are some good guys. It's the left that's bad, or it's the right that's bad. The day that Charlie Kirk got publicly executed in front of the world, and our government was just behaving in ways that indicated that they wanted to cover this up, that they were not interested in getting to the bottom of this, everybody woke up. everybody is awake in the whole world right now that there is something much more far-reaching and nefarious that is going on. And trafficking is definitively, to me, a plausibility, because I believe that if you are an entrepreneur and you become successful in this country, meritocracy we do not live in. No, I believe Tucker Carlson was right when he called that out on stage and started asking about how these people become billionaires. I believe that you, when you get to a certain level, have to decide whether you are going to join the gang, okay, whether you're going to join the gang of global governance, the gang that can snap its fingers and start a civil war in Africa. And if you have the nerve to say no to joining that gang and giving them access to whatever it is that you have created, you're a dead man walking. That's my perspective today on how this whole thing works. And yeah, I am very much thinking that it is definitively a sensible and a rational plausibility that Charlie Kirk came up against this gang, right? Like, you're with us or you're against us. And what I can tell you is we also received a tip from somebody within Turning Point USA that the night before he died, I know for a fact he messaged a donor and he messaged somebody at Turning Point USA. But I did not know, and this is what was told to me, that he also messaged Dan Flood, the security that's to his right, and allegedly explicitly said that they are going to kill me tomorrow. So again, that many people know that Charlie sensed that he was going to die tomorrow is an absolute fact. Why these individuals are all being quiet about that is a massive question mark, okay? And what we can say for certain is, of course, people will betray one another if money is on the line, right? And it could be for 30 pieces of silver, or it could be for billions. But things get complicated when there's a lot of money on the line. So we're gonna pause there, and we have I think, a bunch of things that I wanna show you when we get back, but first let's go to sponsors. All right, you guys, I'll ask the question, what are you doing today to protect your tomorrow? Because waiting until later, that's not really an option. We're already living in the later. Well, you should consider adding gold into your financial strategy, because if economies destabilize and the markets get scared.
Yeah, I need for y'all to double tap. Can y'all double tap? Get the likes up. Come on, y'all. Y'all can do it. While I wait for y'all to get the likes up, have anybody ever used the heated eye mask? Come on, I'm waiting for y'all to get steam eye mask. Can y'all see that? Has anybody used this? A steam eye mask. Get the lights up. I'm gonna start a whole nother conversation to y'all. I'm gonna try it tonight. Let me. Has anybody tried these? Get the lights up, cause I'm ready to use this, baby. No, not right now. No, it looks what? And like it worked too. I can't. Y'all come on, double tap the face of y'all screen so we can get finished with tonight, so I can try this out and tell y'all if I wake up refreshed. It says remove. Come on, just a few more. Do not use if the package. And it's supposed to heat up. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't wait. Let's go, y'all.
You can also give 10 times that amount
Darn
if you can.
Kate.
Head to preborn.com/Candace to give.
Thank you, Frank.
Again, that's preborn.com/Candace. I honestly am wondering how it would actually work if you were trafficking weapons and you're trafficking drugs and you're doing this, which obviously our CIA has been engaged in trafficking. I mean, you could almost argue that that's what they were put together to do, the deep state. How does that work? Like, would you then have random military planes that are coming in and following people? And
yeah, Big Pressure, yeah. But do you understand them better? Do you understand Charlie Kirk? I mean, he was leaving pro-Israel. But yeah, I understand them better, yeah, now, because I know that they were denouncing that genocide. No, I ate all that cake, yeah. Oh, you be listening with your good ear, Miss Tom. Let me start this back up, because you all in my cake, and I didn't eat no ice cream. I didn't eat no ice cream, but I did eat some.
My imagination would be that probably the opportunity always exists
we understand
when there's a really
better.
big event, right? Because people don't question when there's tons of trucks coming in. Like if it's a Taylor Swift concert, no one's going to question if there's tons of jets that are coming in and there's tons of trucks that are coming in. You just go, this must all be for the big show. Like, or the Super Bowl would be a great event, opportunity for people to traffic. And companies that have a lot of events would
it's spiritual warfare, but it's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. Pressure.
Interested in those.
It is spiritual warfare. However, Charlie Kirk was going along with the pro-Israel Zionist movement, acting as a Christian until he had an epiphany. The light came on. He was going along with that program. And so I knew that program, I didn't know that it was a Zionist, but I knew that his Christian beliefs wasn't up to par. And yeah, no, that part I knew. But once I understood this devil worshiping fake Israel, that is not a part of the Bible. That 1948 Rockefeller stuff don't have nothing to do with the Bible. They're as they put it, they have hijacked the original people to steal the land and manipulate Christians. We saw where Bibi Netanyahu has a project in place to convert Christian into non-believers. So yeah, I see and understand that it is spiritual warfare, but I understand now them better, more compassion for them, knowing that they were denouncing pro-Israel, which was denouncing the fake Israel. Candace seemed like she knew that it was fake quicker than Charlie, but at whatever point he got it. That it don't matter if it was the 2 days before. At the time that he denounced it, and I appreciate hearing Candace say, "Hey, I'm trying to make it to heaven," and so yeah, I get it. But I also see the trick of the devil that is trying to be played on all of us, including our president. So yeah, I get it.
Sorts of things to do that. I'm thinking about that now a lot.
And let me also say, I think his wife was involved. I think she was a plant. I'm gonna be honest. I think she was involved in the setup. I think she knew he was about to be taken out. I absolutely think she was a plant to find his weakness or help create one. Her job was to make him fall in love and trust her, and for her to know the plans of the operation.
There's tons of trucks that are coming in. You just go, this must all be for the big show. Like, or the Super Bowl would be a great event, the opportunity for people to traffic. And companies that have a lot of events would probably provide a pretty sound opportunity for people who are interested in those sorts of things to do that. I'm thinking about that now a lot. What's happening on the Operation Mockingbird 2.0 side is now they are all blaming me for the upcoming midterms. We're not going to win midterms. Like, we're not even close to that right now. But when that happens, it's definitively going to be Candace's fault. It's so ridiculous. I couldn't care less. Tim Pool has been one of these people that is crying a lot. So he
Thank you, Miss Tom, for the brushes. I think Charlie knew too.
First and foremost, he called all of you
so
stupid.
He sacrificed himself to save his wife and kids.
I am saying that people that watch your show are stupid. Because they're not accepting the Fed.
I don't know what a honeypot is. I call it. Okay, I'm gonna call it what I call it. I don't know what a honeypot is. I'm gonna call it what I call it, and she was a mole. She was groomed. I think a plant. Yep. Okay. She was a plant. She was a Trump. She was affiliated and associated with Trump before she ever met Charlie. Yeah. And now they have erased all of her Romania angel stuff. So there's a whole, she got 7 years, 7 years out of her life from the time she won the pageant until the time she met and married Charlie. Those years in between has been erased from the internet. When she had was affiliated with the Air Force Base in Romania with her Romania Angels, because that's where they were housed. All of that has been erased. So yeah, Candace, that's what I meant to say a while ago. Don't leave out your girl Erika, because she had her military base in Romania, Ukraine, yeah, over there. Yeah, so there are several people who have their Air Force base where they funnel the kids. Yeah.
Kind of lamented the fact that he lost
Thank you,
a bunch of subscribers to his show because he attacked me.
For the GGs and the floating hearts.
Attacked him back, but he didn't put two and two together, which would imply that that means that people who are watching your show will all be for the big show. Like, or the Super Bowl would be a great event, the opportunity for people to traffic. And companies that have a lot of events would probably provide a pretty sound opportunity for people who are interested in those sorts of things to do that. I'm thinking about that now a lot.
Okay, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the Trump bug bite.
2.0 side is now they are all blamed.
So is Prince Charles, is Camilla stepping down? What they don't call her doing? King Charles and William confirms that is Camilla. Well, no, come on down. She resigning. She's stepping down. Lord, lady, what you done got? Please don't tell us you in the book. You in the Epstein files. Oh, Lord.
Me for the upcoming midterms. We're not going to win midterms. Like, we're not even close to that right now. But when that happens, it's definitively going to be Candace's fault. It's so ridiculous. I couldn't care less. Tim Pool has been one of these people that is crying a lot. So he hosted Milo Yiannopoulos on his show. And first and foremost, he called all of you stupid.
I don't know. We gonna
He
see.
explicitly said,
I am
saying that people
resigning.
that watch your show are
Resigning
stupid.
from what?
Because they're not accepting the Fed slop, and that they will not just eat the Fed slop that we are trying to give them. And then it was funny because later on in the show, he kind of lamented the fact that he lost a bunch of subscribers to his show because he attacked me, even though I never attacked him
On what
back.
side?
But he didn't put two and two together, which would
She
imply that
a
means that
mistress
people who are
wife.
watching your show were also watching my show. So you're calling your own fans stupid, which is probably why they unsubscribed. Regardless of that, Milo Yiannopoulos breaks down the real reason why people are upset, the real reason that if we lose midterms, who we should be pinning the blame on. And he's come up with a way more compelling understanding, which is how we're all feeling. The person to blame if Trump loses midterms, if Republicans lose midterms, might be Republicans. It might be Trump. Here is what Milo had to say, and I will add that he is sitting also with George Santos, who joined them. Take a listen.
Jeffrey Epstein, as Bannon has said, and who would know better than him, it turns out.
You're going to quote Bannon, who consulted
I just said who would know better than him, as it turns out.
I just want to make that very clear for everybody listening.
I just said who would know better, as it turns out. He said that Epstein was the key that picks the lock, right? Of all of the kinds of things that people are asking, like, what is going on here? Why is this like this? And why is it? Epstein was one of the central ideological planks of MAGA teleology. Like, why does the world work like it does? Why do things look weird? Why do those people keep getting away with it and those people keep not getting away with it? Jeffrey Epstein was considered by everybody who voted for Donald Trump as a central pillar of understanding that we would unlock, and it would be like a code where bits of the universe would get like decoded for us. Like, oh my goodness, it's because of that judge. It's because of that. Everybody had that expectation, and there isn't one person who voted for Donald Trump who did not want and did not expect the Epstein files to be released immediately.
I did not have that expectation. I did not vote for Trump.
Okay, fine. Everybody except George.
No, that's not true. There's so many people. I voted for Trump for many other reasons other than that.
Stop it, grow up.
You think that puts food on the table?
Grow up. Oh, come on. Oh, it's about egg prices. Stop it.
No, I voted for him because I saw what he did to Bubba. Did you see him eat Bubba pickle? No, I voted for him for Pickle Gates. Ew. Look at her. He said, stop it. No, for real, seriously. It was for the pickle. It was, I wanted to do what he did on Bubba, on him. Yeah, AunTeaFee, can you put up the Pickle Gate background? I would love for you to have the Pickle Gate background on me and my friend here, Tim. AunTeaFee, please pick the Pickle Gate background up for me. Can you do that for me? Come on, AunTeaFee. You put it up any other time. I want the good picture. I mean, like when he really trying to get down and get it. Like he was trying. That one, yes, AunTeaFee. I love me some AunTeaFee, baby. She come through. Come through, AunTeaFee. Come through. Yes, I did not vote for him for that. I voted for him for the Pickle Gate. You see how he unbuttoned? Yes, it was the pickle. It was the Pickle Gate. Bubba and Trump. What do you mean, Satoria? That is Bill Clinton and Trump. Did you remember the email that Epstein and his brother asked Bannon? And Putin, don't you? And he asked Bannon, do Putin still have the picture of Trump blowing Bubba? We know that Bill Clinton is Bubba. He said, I can blow you like you blow that horn. I can blow you like you blow that horn. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he trying to get, baby, he trying to get into that on the other picture of Trump grabbing Bill's crotch. Yeah, I didn't make that one into an AI, baby, but I did on this one because this one is coming from the pictures when that Putin has. So who we think leaked this picture to let Trump know, yeah, I got him. Just in case you want to know, yes, I have them. And he leaked this picture. Yes. Oh, I got the original picture that's been authenticated. Whatever. Authenticated. Yes. So he is saying that I voted for a bill. Played that. He blew the hell out that saxophone. He blew it like he was a brother in the jazz band, like he was gonna like he was in what was that? Like he was in time 77793. He blew that horn like he was in what was that Denzel movie? Mo Better Blues. Boom, doom, 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 boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, he blew that horn like he was in Mo Better Blues. Yeah, you better go. You better go.
I just want to make that very clear for everybody listening. I just said, who would know better, as it turns out. He said that Epstein was the key that picks the lock, right? Of all of the kinds of things that people are...
He picked the belt buckle off, too.
What's going on here? Why is this like this?
He picked that belt buckle off, too.
Epstein was one of the central ideological planks of MAGA teleology. Like, why does the world work like it does? Why do things look weird? Why do those people keep getting away with it and those people keep not getting away with it? Jeffrey Epstein was considered by everybody who voted for Donald Trump as a central pillar of understanding that we would unlock, and it would be like a code where some bits of the universe would get like decoded for us.
It's
like,
out there.
My goodness, it's because of that judge. It's because of that. Everybody had that expectation, and there isn't one person who voted for Donald Trump who did not want and did not expect the Epstein files to be released.
Yes.
I did not have that expectation. I did not vote for Trump. Okay, fine. Everybody except George. No, that's not true. Of course. There's so many people. I voted for many other reasons.
For that pickle.
Stop it. Grow up.
You got grow up. Food on the table. Grow up. Oh, come on.
It's about egg prices. Stop it. Come on.
It's about a pickle.
In 2016, it was
it's about Bill Pickle.
Of the way that the world was going wrong. The secret elite collusion, Epstein, it was all linked. And people who voted for him the first time and people who voted for him every time since, you can't find me someone apart from George, apparently, who did not want to see the Epstein files.
Let me ask you.
And I promise I'll wrap up and let someone else go. But when he said, there's no Epstein files. And then...
Come on.
The Democrats made it up. And then... Stop asking. And then, if you're asking, you're not a fan of mine. And then, if you're asking, I don't want you.
I agree with all of this.
That is the moment Trumpism died.
Pick a
I agree. And don't we need a reckoning? And if that reckoning comes through the obviously, I promise I'm nearly done.
Yeah, we want a reckoning.
Obviously inadequate account from the feds and Turning Point about what happened around, before, and after Charlie Kirk's death, where his ride or die homegirl is asking questions that have exposed some inconsistencies and some questions, and which seem to point to a different etiology for the crime than the one that we're being told. And when everybody from Turning Point looks so sinister, suspicious, and guilty all the time, and they're losing to her. Respect the public on that at least. They're losing to her, and they have every reason to be winning. So she has every reason to be... Isn't it smart for us to have that reckoning in the Republican Party right now?
Hey, Vicky.
Amen. All of that.
Hey,
okay?
man. Candace. Let me take the pickle gate off of you. I don't want you associated with this dark cloud right here. Look at that dark cloud over Trump's head while he trying to get off into ooh wee. While he trying to get into a Bill Deal pickle. Yeah, y'all see that dark cloud over his head? Y'all see? got a dark cloud. It's gonna rain on your head while you trying to get in Bill's pants. Bubble. I mean, you trying to get that picker out. Trump, it's raining on your head while you trying to get head. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my God. He's so, oh baby. He's a head hunter, baby. He's the head honcho. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's gonna rain. Let me change this off for you, Candace. I refuse. I will not do that to you. Absolutely not. Woo! And y'all know what that is back there? That's a cross. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Come on, girl. I'm
But like he says, there is respect the public on that. At the very least, respect the public, okay? We are voting right now. We are voting with our eyes. We are voting in terms of when we say, I don't want to listen to this podcaster because they're trying to get me to eat this Fed slop. This is how we're voting. I mean, so many people are going down. It's like something about the Charlie Kirk assassination. We're looking around and we're going, guys, are you really going to try to impart this operation upon us where if we keep saying it, eventually the public will accept it. They'll just eat the Fed slop. And we're looking around and we're going, wow, I thought this person was a good guy. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm like, I really actually
y'all double tap.
I've worked with that person. I've collabed with that person. They're joining this side. You too.
You too.
And the public is saying, no. There's not enough influencers that you can pay, okay, that is going to convince me that Charlie ate enough salad to stop at 30-6. Respect the public on that.
And he didn't eat pickles either, did he?
Like, nope, we just need more dollars that need to be spent.
Not the bill.
More articles that need to be written. We need to call the public more names. We need to call them a cult. We need to call them crazy. They're not respecting us on this point whatsoever. I do also want to say that the Hodge twins reiterated that point in a tweet.
He was trying to get in there, baby.
Republicans won't lose the midterms because of Candace Owens. They will lose the midterms because no deep state criminals have been held accountable. They will lose because we are still sending our money to corrupt foreign countries. They will lose because America's last traitors like Lindsey Graham are getting promoted. It is simple. Republicans will lose because they aren't listening to people that voted for them. And that is also so well said. And speaking of the ridiculous Fed slop narrative, there is a YouTuber.
Now, y'all, I've been on here 2 hours and 4 minutes. I need for y'all to get the lights up. I'm finna go in there and get a pickle. And I'm gonna sit here and y'all do know I have not been able to eat a pickle, like not a whole one. I need to go get my garlic. I've been eating pickle chips. I don't want a whole pickle because I see, ever since Picklegate. Double tap the face of your phone if you're using your phone. Or hit the 3 dots at the top. And for you who took your like back, you can go ahead and leave. I guess you didn't want no pickle. I gotta eat my piece of garlic, my garlic clove, cause I don't want to have no mushroom. Yeah, but I gotta make sure I don't have none of them things that eat your brain, and I don't know what they putting in the food no more, baby. I gotta do a parasitic
who has a chance
cleanse with my clove water, and I pickled me some garlic. It's in my pickle jar right now. And baby, that garlic is rough. Woo! Y'all get the lights up? Let's go.
corrupt foreign countries. They will lose because America's last traitors like Lindsey Graham are getting promoted. It is simple. Republicans will lose because they aren't listening to the people that voted for them. And that is also so well said. And speaking of the ridiculous sped slop narrative, there is a YouTuber named Jesse Kague who has a channel called One Shot TV. It's all about guns, and he didn't have a horse in this race. Obviously, he's pretty upfront about the fact that, okay, 30-06 narrative, I've seen bullets do weird things. In 30-06, maybe if it hit your thigh, but I'm just going to test this fairly. And he is going to, and thank you to Mel, who is Village Crazy Lady, and Ryan Matta on X for bringing this video to my attention. But this guy, Jesse, is going to test the 30-06, and I want you to watch it.
All right, guys, we have a couple different rounds we could use for this test. There is like 1,000 30-06s out there, and that's one reason why I wasn't ready to just jump in doubting the story right away, because we don't even know what kind of ammo was used. It could literally be anything.
Thank you, Mrs.
The first one
Tom.
we have is the 180 grain full metal jacket ball round. This is one of the most common 30-06s out there, this and the 150 grain. If you go to a gun shop and just ask for 30-06 ammo, this is one we have. Is the 180 grain full metal jacket ball round. This
is that what they said he got shot with?
Out there, this and the 150 grain.
And there was no blood?
And just ask for 30-06 ammo. This is probably what they'll give you. If I had to guess, I would honestly say he probably used something like this, just because it is the most common round out there. The second one that we have is a lot more interesting. This is the 150 grain Hornady ballistic tip. I actually bought this one specifically for this test, just to give us the highest chance of something stopping in the target. Okay, this is how we're going to set this one up. I have our ballistic dummy bust on a table in the front. I do have it slightly angled so we can hit the target that we're aiming for.
It's long.
Behind it, I have 3 5-gallon
I think that would have came out the other end.
Maybe we'll get lucky and actually capture it. And then what I'm going to do is pull my truck back here and try to use the roof to get a slight downward angle on the target, just like it was in real life.
I would think that would come out.
I'm not going to be able to take the shot at 140 yards. I got too many cameras to operate. I did do that in our first
high
video.
power.
Yeah, no. Right here. I just wanted to show you how easy it was and how close that actually is. With this caliber, trust me, it's a chip shot. There's going to be almost no difference between 30 or 40 and 140. It's a 1,000-yard gun. So we might be gaining a few feet per second, but ultimately the result will be very similar.
Ooh.
Well, we definitely penetrated our water jugs, and I don't think this is going to help to stop the conspiracy theories. His head fell off.
Look at that. I mean, watch that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Be almost no difference between 30 or 40 and 140. It's a 1,000-yard gun. So we might be gaining a few feet per second, but ultimately the result will be very similar.
There should have been blood.
Well, we definitely penetrated our water jugs, and I don't think this is going to help to stop the conspiracy theories. His head fell off.
Look at that. I mean, watch that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. There should have been a whole bunch of blood and matter. And matter. Now, he did go to the side, but oh my God.
All right, guys. I figured this is probably what would happen. I was trying to remain optimistic, but that right there is
that bullet was
are skeptical on the official story. The 30-06 is a very hard round to stop.
Yeah, so I wanted to show that because I realized there's a bunch of people who may not be gun enthusiasts. Obviously, that channel is dedicated to it, and just so you understand and really appreciate what the federal government is trying to sell to you right now. That's what we mean when we say that particular bullet would have decapitated Charlie. Like you see Like, actually, it just, the idea that that just, like, ricocheted and went
Yeah,
inward
no.
is just so beyond ridiculous. It's insulting, and they think that if they send out these, like, glee boys, like Nick Fuentes, acting, you know, someone who looks like he's never even been traversed into nature before, and if they really put on the theater, then a bunch of hunters are going to go, yeah, I see what you mean, man. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. And so at some point, they are going to either just, I don't know, have to declare war on the American people. Like, never mind. We're just going to go to war with you because you won't accept it. Or they're going to have to give us something that's truthful. Somebody is going to have to come forward and say something that makes sense. And because I believe that this conspiracy is so far-reaching, because I believe it is exactly like the JFK assassination, and people close to Charlie are aware of things, that they sold him out in many ways every single day that goes by where they don't tell us the truth and they're not honest about the anxiety that Charlie had the night before he died. They look more and more guilty. I am convinced that that they're just going to try to hide it further. I truly believe that the deep state is involved in this assassination, and multiple states are involved, and they don't know what to do. I think they've completely come undone because they believed that with enough money and power, they would get away with it. But at the end of the day, common sense seems to be ruling the roost. All right, we're going to take another break before I get to some of your questions.
Wow. That's a
All right, you guys, here's how it works. You actually have two ages, your actual age and then your body's internal biological age. Because mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loan. Owens.
Was she finna say something about
delay your
magnesium?
next two mortgage payments. Imagine putting specific health benefits like cell health and your body's internal biological age. Because many Americans eat so many processed foods and not enough fruits and veggies, they're actually 10 plus years older on the inside than they are on the outside.
Yeah.
A major university study suggests how to slow aging. Participants
Field of
slowed their
Greens.
aging
I
down
thought
by
she was
drinking
finna
the
say
Field of Greens. That is all they did differently. They didn't change their eating
magnesium.
money every month. All without Owens. All right, our top comment from last episode came from Joanne. That, of course, last episode was regarding Blake Neff and his diatribe of, you know, why Turning Point took a while to respond. Joanne writes, "We hoped it would go away. It's the first truthful sounding statement made so far from Turning Point USA, that we hoped it would go away." Yeah, I think genuinely everyone was sort of hoping it would go away. Laughing Cats Music World writes, "Could you please draft a strong post to TPUSA asking the questions that we all want answers to? Why $1.5 million was sent to a 110 LLC, which routes to a Safeway strip mall? Why is the Doge audit suddenly no longer happening? Can we see Mikey's call logs and the metadata before and after 12:23 p.m.? Much more." And fam, follow John Mappin and read his essay, "The Perfumed Pervert."
Can we go to the real
They have
funeral?
said they're going to be doing
Ain't no
something in the
video, ain't
future
nothing.
to answer questions, and I would imagine that if they said if it's once and for all, these would be some of the questions that are going to have to be answered, or it won't be for all, right? Asado Braz writes, "I was an atheist a few months ago, and watching this whole series, the Brigitte series, and doing my own research has led me to buying my first Bible. Thank you for speaking truth. It is changing lives."
Praise
yes,
God.
we'll get to the point of recognizing that there is a very sinister war on Christ, is what it's always been about.
Oh
A war
my
on
God.
truth is what it's always been about, and that they have propagandized us
That's
sufficiently
beautiful.
into believing it's like, you know, Muslim versus Christian, it's blacks versus white,
I
it's
saw a
left
raw,
versus
yeah,
right,
but
it's
you didn't
America
see his
versus
face.
Germany, and
That was a
they
dummy.
have been
You
very
didn't
good
see
at
his
that.
face.
I would say that they've been very good at propagandizing and making us believe things that aren't so. Ultimately, it has always been a war on Christ, and that's why you just find in all these countries that Christians are being mass murdered and slaughtered, and the finger is being pointed at Muslims. I think actually just this past weekend, it was revealed. Am I correct that, Qatar came out, Tucker Carlson did an interview, and they
Yep.
said the reason why we have a relationship with Hamas is because the U.S. government asked us to establish one. And everyone's like, oh, okay, another terrorist organization in which the U.S. intelligence agencies have their hands in. Like, duh, this is how it works everywhere in the world since always. Diana Sheehan writes, "If crime is involved, do TPA employees still have to stay silent?" I guess you mean TPUSA employees. "Keep going. Sweet Jesus, help Esther save our nation." I mean, if they want to keep their jobs, they'd have to stay silent. But obviously, a lot of leaks that we've received have come from TPUSA employees. So they are doing the right thing, and that's why we shouldn't discount that there are good people that are in that organization. Corruption everywhere, whether it's the government, whether it's at a big corporation, it tends to happen at the top because only the top has the power to be corrupt, right? If you're on the bottom and you're doing something wrong, they're just going to fire you. AZ Master Baker writes, Erika with Barry Weiss on the 13th, I think that's this month, TPUSA podcast to debunk things scheduled for the 15th, TPUSA AmFest on the 18th. Nothing is a coincidence. They want to squash all of this by AmFest. I'm sure it's probably also motivated by the fact that they don't want this to go into next year. So they're hoping that if they finally respond and things have gotten too big, then things have gotten so big, we obviously have to say something. It's not going away. Hopefully we squash this. It's the end of the year. People come back refreshed. They feel like they have the right answers. So they might be motivated by goodness, you know, and we won't know until we hear what those answers are to all of these burning questions. CCXX writes, praying for you daily. TPUSA's credibility is on the line. We took out the life insurance. Oh, who took out the life insurance policy on Charlie? And where did that $1.5 million go to and why? Go Max, Candace. Yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow. I did see that the Daily Mail broke the story about the life insurance policy that was taken out. I mean, some of that obviously is normal to have life insurance policy if you are married to somebody. Whether or not there were corporate implications is a whole other ballpark question. By the way, that also could be normal as well. So I try not to speak about things that I'm not too educated about, but I have asked some questions and hopefully I can supply some answers. Also, it has similarly been going viral this weekend, which I didn't get to. People that are saying that Charlie Kirk has not yet been buried yet. I told you that he had a Catholic funeral mass. And so some people were tagging me in that. And I do have more to say about that. And I will use tomorrow to do so. But yeah, I did see that going viral. And I did not ignore that. I was checking some things. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow. By the way, if you want to support the show, you can obviously head to Candace.
He was on the live on the 11th. They haven't buried him yet. So they really haven't buried that man yet. I was just saying something about a funeral. Lord. Hold on. That's impossible. I'm trying to tell you, they playing in our face, child. They are absolutely playing in our face. Hold on. The body would have. I mean, if he laying in some embalming fluid or something, man. I mean, you know, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how they doing that. I don't know how they doing that. I bet you it stink though, wherever it's at. Ooh wee, frozen. Yeah, tomorrow I think I'm gonna chime into something. But I did see where Tucker Carlson and that man had some things to say about your president. Bombshell. Let me see.
After in Israel saying no, the Israeli government did this.
Y'all get the lights up.
Prime Minister did this with the agreement. It's a terrorist. Thank you, Sheikh Mohammed, for doing this.
I mean, don't he have a bag on his head too? Tucker? Yep. He's y'all president though. Let's listen.
Have you been reading the coverage on American social media of this?
Well, actually, I've been going through some of them this morning. And, I
saw like a lot of contradicting messages.
Pretty intense, I'd say. This country is being denounced as a terror state, terror financing, very high volume, lots of attacks, including from politicians, sitting U.S. senators, Ted Cruz, for example. And the main criticism seems to revolve around Hamas, and the idea is that your country, and you specifically, are supporters of Hamas, you're terror financiers. And I'd like to just get right to the truth of that. So my understanding is Hamas is here in Doha because the United States and Israel asked you to host Hamas. Is that true? And if not, what is the truth about Hamas in Doha?
Well, thank you, Tucker. First of all, look, the starting of the relationship with Hamas and the communication was started back more than 10 years, 13 years ago, at the request of the United States, or even beyond that, like it was 19 years ago when they first participated in the election, and then when they moved their office back in 2012 here, it was used only for the communication and to facilitate like ceasefire, facilitating aids to Gaza. Now, unfortunately, Qatar has been attacked for having them here, but when you look, at what's happening within the region, this region, when you look at its conflict, it has the parties of the conflict. Sometimes they are state actors, sometimes they are non-state actors. If you have no one speaking to those non-state actors, how we are going to resolve or to reach to a solution at the end of the day? And now we have seen that this communication has led to ceasefires, has led to the release of the hostages, has led to elevating the suffering of the people over there. And unfortunately, there are like politicians who are trying to use this to score like short-term political gains to fuel their narratives, in order to using Qatar to blame another country for what's happening over there or for their wrong policies. All our aid and all our support and financing that went to what they claim that went to Hamas, went to Gaza, went to the people, and it was under very transparent process that the United States is fully aware about. Israel is the one who's facilitating, and it's not one government, it was across governments. Netanyahu, Bennett, we have dealt with all the agencies. Lapid was a prime minister at a certain point of time, Mossad, Shin Bet, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, all of the, and the defense, all of them, they were involved in these aids and the delivery of those aids. So today, when they are claiming that this is the financing of Qatar to Hamas, it has no basis. It's just a way to spread disinformation about a country that doesn't do anything for them, but it's doing things that are against their policies. If you just go to Qatar records with in its engagement with the United States for the last 20 years or 30 years, Qatar has never went to the United States and encouraging them to bomb this country or to support this group or to that group. We've been always in our dialogues with the United States about how we de-escalate the region, how we bring peace to the region, and this peace cannot happen without an engagement with everyone in the region.
Well, I'm confused then. If you hosted Hamas here and sent money to Gaza, both of those things at the request of the U.S. government and the Israeli government, successive Israeli governments, why did Israel bomb your country?
My energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing
question.
This. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49.
Well, it's I don't know if there is. I don't know if any of the actions that's been or many of the actions that's been taken been justified or rationalized or even were ethical actions. But in a principle, even you have a mediator. The concept of mediation is like a safe place for the conflicted parties to achieve a deal, to end wars and to end conflicts, and to have the mediator being bombed by one of the parties of the conflict. This has been unprecedented, and I have said that many times, that this is, it's not only an unethical move, it's just, throwing everything against the wall, throwing the international law, throwing the respect of the sovereignty of any other country,
Besides, ethically, it's not really acceptable, or no one can swallow it.
No, and the aftermath was also unprecedented. So President Trump basically told the Israelis to apologize to you. He took your side. He took the side of an Arab country against Israel in this specific case. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think it's ever happened before. What was your reaction to that?
Well, of course, President Trump was very clear from the beginning since the attack. Actually, when he was informed about the attack, he assigned one of his advisors to reach out to us, and at the same time, he called His Highness after the attack, and he expressed his frustration, his disappointment from such a thing that's happening by Israel, because he knows everything about the process, and he knows how helpful we were throughout this process. And
playing both sides
this
again.
Kind of move was shocking for him as a partner in these efforts, in these endeavors to achieve peace in Gaza. And at that time, actually, when the strike happened, it was happening while we were trying to convince Hamas to accept the offer was made by President Trump at that time, to convince them to engage, to convince them to get a deal before the 20 points being developed when the attack happened.
So you're saying that President Trump was surprised by the bombing of Doha by the Israelis. Of course, it was his peace process that was short-circuited by their bombing using American money. You're saying that the president didn't know that was going to happen. He was surprised.
He called us.
Act like he was surprised.
His advisors who reached out to us, they reached out to us just a couple of minutes before the attack, which was like the attack was already happening. So it was very clear demonstration with all the actions that this is something happened against his will, and he doesn't accept it. And he made it very clear for everyone that this is like a red line, that he doesn't want anyone to cross it, and we highly value that and appreciate it.
Right, and I'm just pressing you on this because there were news accounts in the subsequent days, the next day, the day after, in Israel saying, no, the Israeli government did this, the prime minister did this, with the agreement of Donald Trump. This was part of Donald Trump's plan, was to bomb Doha, bomb his own peace negotiations, and you're saying that's not true.
Well, I think this is one of many efforts to sabotage the relationship between Qatar and the United States, and they want us to believe that. And I think that
Trump playing both
these
sides.
efforts are not new to us. We have seen a lot of efforts ongoing for years now, on based on disinformation and spreading lies and false information about Qatar in order to hurt the relationship between Qatar and the United States, which we see it from our perspective is mutually beneficial for both countries, because we advocate for something different than what our adversaries advocate. Our adversaries advocating for escalation, for bombing, for controlling, but we advocate for resolving conflict in a diplomatic way, trying to stabilize the region, and that has been Qatar policy since inception.
So you said that your country has sent money to Gaza for humanitarian reasons. That's your position. Basically paying to help the people who are being bombed by Israel. Now there's the question of who rebuilds Gaza, which has of course been completely destroyed, and who pays for it. And I just imagine with total certainty that you will be asked to pay for the rebuilding of Gaza. Why would you do that? Why would you rebuild a region that's been destroyed by a country that also bombed you?
Well, look, Tucker, here, there is like a very, an ironic situation when you look at like two conflicts happening at the same time, and you are hearing like many about when it comes to the Russia-Ukrainian conflict, that Russia should fund all the reconstruction and their assets should be seized to fund all the reconstruction of Ukraine. While when you are talking about Gaza and Israel, flattened this land, and you say that Israel has the responsibility to rebuild what it's destroyed, they will tell you no. You will have, as a region, you will have the responsibility to do so. And it's really very ironic double standards when you look at it. From our side, as a state of Qatar, we will continue supporting the Palestinian people. We will do whatever to alleviate their suffering. But we are not the ones who are going to write the check to rebuild what others destroyed. That's basically our position. But also we will not let the Palestinian people at dry if they are not helped or they are not funded.
I should say from an American perspective, it's even more grotesque. So you are asked to pay for the destruction and for the rebuilding. This is like, it's a little much. So, but you're saying clearly that your country will not pay to rebuild what Israel destroyed.
That's our position. Our position is that our payments will go only to help the Palestinians.
Okay, now I know y'all see Miss Tom asking y'all to hit the like button or hit the thumbs up. She's saying it's disrespectful. We're also saying that if you don't want to double tap the face of your phone, double tap the face of your phone if that's the device you're listening on, or hit the three dots at the top right corner, then we're going to politely ask you to leave. Get your tea someplace else. Yeah, bye. Get the likes up or leave. It's too late. It's 11 something. We done been on here. Y'all been drinking tea all day over here. Don't want to hit the like button. Don't want to send some jewels. Don't want to a super chat, super sticker. You're not sharing it out. You ain't doing nothing. We're ear hustling. So double tap your phone or hit the three dots at the top or leave. Now I'm finna have to start talking to you the way Trump talked to you, because that's what y'all like. Yeah. If you take your like back, go. Shoot. Yeah. And I'm not going to go forward until my likes go up. So double tap the face on your phone. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. Double tap on your phone. I'm finna pull a Trump. You're the most despicable. You're so rude. It's disrespectful. You are the worst. You're despicable. What else do he be saying rude? And y'all be agreeing with it. Yeah, I gotta talk to y'all the way Trump talk to y'all. Because y'all the ones don't want to go in the algorithm. Being rude and disrespectful. Get the like button. Get the stepping. Get the stepping. Yeah. Hey, Clarinetta. Thank you, Mrs. Tom. If you're on your phone, double tap. Oh, okay. Thank you, Juliana. She said, your choice or leave. Come on now.
Palestinian people, if we see that the help is coming to them is insufficient, that's basically.
That's why they be so behind. That's why they be so behind. I mean, I know you're not behind, Candace, but we been knowing it was trafficking. I mean, didn't we been knowing that? Y'all, haven't we been knowing it? Huh? Folks be thinking I just be talking and I don't know what I'm talking about. We always 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps ahead. Yeah, and then y'all don't want to hit the like button. Y'all don't want to support the platform or nothing. Get the likes up. And better be glad that y'all over here with we the geniuses. Yeah, my IQ score still high, huh? Come on, y'all, double tap. This new right here. Yeah, we all where are we? Where are we right now? Where are we? Where is he at? Qatar. We in Qatar. I thought they Doha.
Okay, our position. What happens to the current residents of Gaza? Do they stay in Gaza? I know there's an effort to find some other country to send them to, either in Asia or Sudan or Milwaukee. But do they stay in Gaza?
Well, I think that, when it's hurting us when we hear people talking about the people of Gaza as some sort of different people, because they have the right to have the choice where to live. And they don't want to, to leave their country. And we have seen these demonstrations in many occasions when we see the opening between the south and the north of Gaza. We see the mass return of the people to their homes, even if their homes is flattened and gone. They just go there and build a tent. And this is just showing you how
go there with a tent.
Solid are those people, how resilient are those people, how those people, they don't want to leave the land that they belong to. And I don't see anyone has the right to...
Do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed friends.
Deport them,
nope.
to force them to go somewhere else. It's their country, it's their home, and they have all the right to stay there and to live there.
Yeah, the idea of moving millions of people by force into another country, has been discredited, I would say, historically. Big picture, this is a question that remains unanswered in the United States. What is the plan here exactly in the Levant? What is Israel's plan? What is the strategy? I understand it's, defeating Hamas and Hezbollah. And, I understand the short-term goals that are often articulated, but what does this look like in 10 years? What is the object? Do you have any idea?
Well, I think, if we look at the situation currently, I have mentioned that yesterday. The situation currently is not is not something that can survive for long in being stable. Now, the issue that if the Israeli forces remains there, if the violations remains happening in Gaza, this conflict can escalate again. And that's what all of us we want to avoid. The best plan is to apply what's been already agreed on in the plan that President Trump has launched and the countries in the region has supported, to rebuild Gaza for the Gazan people to remain there, but also finding a political solution for the bigger issue, because if you keep this issue unresolved, the Palestinian issue unresolved, things will escalate again and again. We cannot build a house without building the foundation of that house. And the foundation of that house, that the Palestinian people get their rights for their states, and they have the right to stay in their own land.
From an outside perspective, it seems like the prospect of full rights internally or a separate and autonomous Palestinian state, those seem like more remote than ever. That seems less likely than ever to happen, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Well, unfortunately, peace needs, a partner also for that. With the current configuration in Israel and what we are seeing in the political landscape there in the Knesset and all those resolutions that they are passing against the two-state solution is just, setting us apart from this path, which is unfortunate to see that there is no enforcement to push them that this is the only path forward to have a two-state solution. We cannot, remain hostage to the far right and the extremist agenda to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian or to kick them out of their lands. And what we are looking for two countries, two people living side by side peacefully and being part of the region. And that's what
so they're about peace.
Aspiring for.
It is widely believed in Washington that Israel will initiate another war against Iran in this coming year, 2026. I don't know if that's true. Do you believe it is true?
Well, let's hope not. I think that it's very important to try to find a way to reactivate the talks on the nuclears and to see a track of diplomacy, because right now what we are seeing, there is an absence of any efforts in resolving the issue diplomatically. And as we have mentioned many times, that anything would happen to Iran, it will have its impact on the entire region, on the entire Gulf region. Qatar, Saudi, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, all the countries will be affected with such a thing. And I hope not, but there is a lot of uncertainty of what's happening in the region right now. We see Lebanon bombing is continuing while what supposedly the war is ended. We see Gaza bombing is still continuing while there is a ceasefire is ongoing. So it all depends on how can we make sure that Israel stops at this level and doesn't escalate further.
One of the reasons I openly admire you despite much criticism and was grateful to interview you today is because your country acts as a kind of neutral zone around the world, not just in your region. Switzerland no longer being non-aligned, unfortunately, it's fallen to your country to be the place where people can negotiate conflicts to peace, settlement. You're doing that in Eastern Europe with Russia, Ukraine. You helped get Evan Gershkovich out of prison in Russia. I don't know if you've gotten credit for that. God bless you for doing that. Do you see that conflict as moving toward resolution?
Well, I think that there are a lot of hope in the current endeavor that's carried out by the United States to reach to a resolution, because I believe that this war has becoming very disruptive, not only for
it's all right.
Europe and not
we
only
almost
for the
I'm
Ukrainians.
finna cut it off.
Disruptive for the entire world, and
thank you,
just,
Mrs. Tom.
Polarizing the world more and more. And this is not in anyone's interest, and it will have its consequences. Right now, we see a relentless efforts by the U.S. administration in order to achieve a deal, and the Ukrainians are engaging in this process, and we are trying our best also whenever we are needed to help and to support within that process. But I believe it is solvable. It can be achieved. It's not something impossible.
So last question. I've been personally, not to make it about me, but I have been criticized as being a tool of Qatar. And I just want to say what you already know, which is I've never taken anything from your country and don't plan to. I am, however, tomorrow buying a place in Qatar, both because I am
pay a high check
in Doha, yeah, and I'm doing that because I like the city. I think it's beautiful, but also to make a statement that I'm an American and a free man, and I'll be wherever I want to be, which I think is important. But that does kind of leave us in a place where I have not taken any money from Qatar. I have instead given money to Qatar. And I wonder if you feel that that means I've bought you and you will now spew my propaganda.
Well, thank you. Just ask me whatever you want me to do for you, I will do it. But look, Tucker, unfortunately, as I told you, that there are a lot of players putting a lot of efforts to sabotage the relationship between Qatar and the United States and to try to demonize anyone who will come to this country. Our efforts when we are lobbying or doing, our outreach in the United States, is to make sure that this relationship is safeguarded. And the relationship for us is mutually beneficial. We are not getting aid from United States. Instead, we are buying from United States. We are partnering with them. We are investing in United States investing in Qatar. And this relationship has been always a two-way relationship. And we pay all these amounts for lobbying only to protect and to safeguard this relationship. If we were not being attacked and under a lot of disinformation campaign that's been unfortunately funded by other players who doesn't want to see a U.S.-Qatar relationship flourish, we would spend this money for better things, to do with the relationship.
Sheikh Mohammed, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I appreciate it.
Okay, y'all. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. Don't let the bad bug bite. If you did not hit the like button coming in or while you were here eavesdropping, please double tap on your screen. Thank you, Juliana. Thank y'all for the gems. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, Pete. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. A bunch of tea today. Bye, Naturally, New Orleans. A lot of tea today. Oh, I'm gonna be you. No, I ain't gonna lie and say I'm gonna use the restroom myself. That's Trump. Can't hold his water. Can't hold it either. He just can't hold nothing. Good night, good night. Good night, my love. Yeah. Ooh-wee. How long I been on here? 2 hours. Let's stop Erika.
I use PayPal to buy the.
I thought I told y'all good night.
Something like this happened. We all try to relate to it's which we all seem to be addicted to. This book is encouraging.
A book.
Charlie Kirk's final book that he finished only 1 month before his assassination. It is now out in bookstores around the country. Stop in the name of God. Why honoring the Sabbath will transform your life. By the way, Charlie Kirk's final book that he finished only 1 month before his assassination. It is now out in bookstores around the country. Stop in the name of God. Why honoring the Sabbath will transform your life. By the way, you can get it. Go to 45books.com. You can get a copy. It's also in bookstores around the country. Now, the book takes on the machine that we kind of look at it as modern life. You ever see somebody at a dinner table? They're like, everyone's looking at their own phone,
I thought y'all was gone.
We'll talk about that. It's a never-ending
double tap the face of the screen if you hop back on here.
Which we all seem to be addicted to. This book is encouraging all of us 1 day a week to turn this off, to turn off electronics, learn to be present with our significant others, with our loved ones, with our children, and truly rest 1 day a week. God created the world in 6 days. He rested on the seventh. And to do that in the name of God and honor the Sabbath. Erika Kirk, the CEO of Turning Point USA, joins us now for this interview. It's so good to see you. I got to spend time with you earlier today.
I loved it.
You're stuck with me twice.
We're stuck. Our whole team is all stuck together.
We got to.
Double tap the face of your screen. 100 and some people popped back up in here, and y'all did not double tap or y'all did not hit the thumbs up. You are just a moocher. What is that? What? Your mama didn't teach y'all no better. Y'all don't have no type of manners. How dare you?
Do that in the name of God in honor of the Sabbath. Erika Kirk, the CEO of Turning Point U.
She looked pretty good to me for somebody who done lost the love of her life. Where's the picture of her pregnant? She don't have no motherly pictures. I mean, we can at least see Candace on her intro. She was pregnant, got married, all that. Where your pregnant pictures at?
USA joins us now for this interview. It's so good to see you. I got to spend time with you earlier today.
I loved it.
You stuck with me twice.
We're stuck. Our whole team is all stuck together.
We got good. Mikey taking a million videos over there. Before we talk about the book, which is really, I think, can transform people's lives.
Absolutely.
How are you doing? How are the kids?
Doing the best.
Thank you, Black West.
God is good, and we have the most amazing Turning Point USA family. They've rallied around myself, my children, and chosen family is everything. And then of course we're blessed with our family itself. But people like you, Ainsley, it's priceless. It's priceless.
You go through this period and you have
the
shock of
Miss Vicky.
Something like this happen. Right. We all try to relate to people. I don't know if you really could relate to this. And then all of a sudden, there are moments where you just the reality hits you. He's not coming home.
Right. The permanency, I will always struggle with the permanency. It's the love of my life. I still talk to him every single day as if when I'm getting ready in the morning, when I'm getting ready to go to bed, when I'm just going about my day, I still feel him so much with me. And again, the permanency will never settle in.
We talked a little about this on radio today, but when you think of heaven, and as a Christian, I believe in heaven, Jesus on the cross says to a person to his left, "This day you will be with me in paradise. The eye hath not seen, the ear hath not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of man what God has in store for those who love the truth." I say at the end of my show, hopefully you stay up once in a while. Let not your heart be troubled.
Yes.
But the verse goes on, in my Father's house are many mansions. And I go to prepare a place for you so that where I am, you shall also be.
Amen.
Does that give you comfort?
It does.
Those
And
words?
my daughter and I, we've talked about this at night. She would ask, what do you think Daddy did today in heaven? And I'll have her relay that back to me, or, we've come to the understanding, and I've tried to explain this to her, that Daddy's still with us. He's just in a different location, and he's building us a home in heaven. And I've said this before, but she said, I can't wait to go. I said, me too.
Yeah. This is an amazing message. I was reading the book.
Not trying to be heartless, but it seems the most profitable tragedy for her.
I'm the same way.
But I read every page of it. First of all, he's a biblical scholar, which was beyond impressive.
Phenomenal.
I mean, I would think any scholar would be impressed
biblical
by
scholar. Oh my God, this is too much.
The second thing that stood out about this is, wow, what a powerful message that he's sending.
What is I supposed to breathe? Yep, probably at home.
Don't turn it back
I mean, I'm baby. She is dolled up. I just, I don't know.
Well, let me just explain first how much time and effort went into this book. Charlie he didn't write this book without doing what he's talking about in this book. That's not the way he operates. He learned as much as he could about this topic. We have
Hungover is here, and I needed it because my fridge is super empty. I'm gonna open the box. That's the exciting.
Over 50 books on our bookshelf about the Sabbath. He wanted to know it so deeply, and he saw the fruit of what it was like to actually detach from the world, stop the noise, stop the scrolling, and just put pause on everything and focus on your family. And he was, yeah, at first, you know, it was started with an hour, 2 hours, but then once he fully incorporated it into his life, he totally elevated. He became a next level husband, which I didn't even think was possible because he was already so incredible to me and the babies, but I saw how this changed his life, and it's something so simple, just turning your phone off or detaching from TV or your daily life and just taking a minute to pause and breathe and understanding how important family is and putting into perspective that the battle's already won. Just love on what the Lord has blessed you with.
He talked about how that's real rest.
It is.
And,
It is.
and that means not watching television, binge watching. It means present with your family, present
with your family,
God.
present with the Lord. Rest your brain, rest your heart, rest your soul. We're not machines. We're humans. We have souls. We are here to make a difference. And if you can't hear from the Lord, if you're being inundated constantly from other people trying to take your attention away from what the ultimate goal is, how are you able to make decisions for your family and for your company?
Manipulated of the mind. Yeah.
If you are so inundated with whatever the enemy
It seems
wants you to have, we
rehearsed.
talked
It
about this earlier,
seems.
busyness.
It's just not. It don't have a genuine feel to it. It don't have a loving,
very much so. There's a huge
caring.
difference. We can get boggled
I
down with to-do lists
miss.
and
It just
thinking
don't
that
have
that
it.
is productivity.
But
It's actually
she
not.
she was
Terry
possibly
incredible with
groomed,
time
y'all.
management.
She could
And
be
time
one
on
of
this
those
earth is so
groomed.
limited. You and I both know that, and now we see it in Technicolor with what happened to my husband. But
She was a
time is so
plant
precious, and so are you going to spend
to
that time
seduce Charlie
investing into your
and make
family,
him fall
investing
in
into the
love.
eternal things,
That's what they
investing in the
do.
things that you will have in heaven, or are you going to waste that time getting in internet debates and going
I
down rabbit
really
holes?
did love you. I'll never forget that.
Show today, I asked you to read a passage
I
because I thought it was better coming from you.
I
It was
really
the
did
Sabbath is
love
not just a
you.
nice idea. It's not just a day of rest for the religious or nostalgic. The Sabbath is God's answer to a culture spinning out of control, and it is His ancient rhythm and sanity planted like an anchor.
No, I think she is a Zionist. I think she's a part of pro-Israel and their cult. I think she's in a cult.
We stop because we're human. I mean,
It's that Tammy Faye Baker.
and that's way more profound
You
than
know
anything
that
could say.
He did not just
pretty
write
little
this
arm
book, he lived
candy.
it. So when you feel something so deeply and you've experienced it and you lived it, you want to be able to tell other people, look, this will change your life.
She was working
I know
for
it might
Trump.
sound simple, but sometimes
She was
the
working
best answers
for
are the most simple ones.
the
It is
deceit.
truth. And he,
She
again,
was whatever they got going on, the organized crime. She's a part of it. Let us not forget. I don't care if they have erased it, if they have, whatever they do with the internet, scrape it. I can't think of the name they use, but she's had that done. She was one of those traffickers. Right after she won a pageant with Trump in 2012. And it was in Romania Angels. And they were housed on the military base. And now, since all of this has happened, and they start digging in there, saying she was banned from Ukraine and all of that, now you can't find nothing about her from 2012 to 2019 when she met and married Charlie. Scrubbed, yeah. It's been scrubbed. It don't even, it mentioned in there that she was in the Trump pageant. You have to find those pictures. Once those pictures surfaced, they started scrubbing. So she was introduced, and her dad worked for Trump. So whatever organized crime they had going on, she was already a part of it. So that's why I say she was a plant for Charlie. Okay, y'all, I've had enough of her. I can't. I'm sorry. It's on Fox News Live if y'all want to go check it out. I'm sick of her. I can't. I can't. I just can't. And I'm sleepy anyway. And I want to put my eye mask. I'm going to take a bath, a good, and I'm going to put my eye mask on, and I hope to fall off to sleep. Good night, good people. Peace.